Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I am back with another bomb live. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been watching me, welcome back. Y'all know I love my crew over here. Guys, please make sure as you are coming in that you hit the like button. Okay, I'm really pushing through for y'all today because I'm tired. I'm sleepy. But for those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Mariah Sincere, and I am a self-love coach who specializes in helping people to radically transform their lives. I've been able to do it myself at the beginning of last year. I completely wanted to change my life, so I decided to move to another country. So I'm coming at y'all live from the beautiful city of Medellin, Colombia. Yes, so yeah, if you need any coaching, hit me up at ThePassportSis@gmail.com. Y'all, I have my website. Like, I have a very nice website. It's just I have to like do everything I need to get done, like for the rollout. Okay, so y'all bear with me. I do actually have a website where y'all can go like book coaching sessions on, and I also do, like, let's say you want to travel to another country and you need some conversational Spanish lessons, particularly in Colombia, because I can really help you with that. I got you with that. Or if you want to book a tour with me, like if you want somebody to like spend the day with you here in Colombia, you can go on my website and do that. With that said, guys, the topic of discussion today, y'all, like, it's 2025. Y'all remember how they used to be like light-skinned dudes ain't in style no more? Baby, bad boys are not in style anymore. And I don't know why y'all continue to date bad boys. Like, why are we dating bad boys in 2025? I'm not understanding, right? Let me tell you something. We're going to talk about Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti. We're going to talk about Keyshia Cole and Hunxho. And not just Hunxho, like Keyshia Cole dated Birdman. She got a roster full of bad boys. And that's not to try to talk down on her. Keyshia is my girl. What up, Jamal? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Keyshia is my girl. What up, DJ Batman? But she keeps dating the same type of dude. She keep dating the same type of dude. And I understand she look good. She keep going younger. I don't understand. You know, here's my whole thing. Let's get into it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jamal. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm gonna play the videos. Because you still in Cali. No, I've never been to Cali. You talking about Cali, Colombia? No, I'm in Medellin. I'm in Medellin. I've never been to Cali. Okay, so let's get into the situation. So this
up and even cried through the performance. Child, her fans were just like,
CL News. Again, we've been watching Miss Keyshia Cole go through it for years. And I want to use her as a case study on accountability because I think she's a really sweet woman. I've never heard nobody say Keyshia Cole just did them dirty. Even all the men that she's dated have never come out and say that she did them dirty. But it's like, sis, you are casting your pearls before swine, right? I used to have the biggest crush on Keyshia Cole, but she's close to a lost cause. And see, that's what women don't understand. When people publicly see you get played, and then they see you get played by these type of men, where to other men it's like, duh, obvious he was gonna play you. You can look at him and tell that. It makes people lose respect for you, especially if it keeps happening over and over again. And like, don't get me wrong, y'all know I say all the time on this channel, you have to go through the game to get the game. But baby girl, Keyshia Cole, you was over 40. You should have been got the game by now. And you keep getting played by the same type of dudes. You dating the same type of industry dudes. When you coming back to the cliff? Hopefully never. Hopefully never.
like, Auntie Keyshia better not be up there crying over Hunxho. But as it turns out, it's actually possible that the tears were courtesy of Hunxho breaking up with her. And as for what caused the breakup, allegedly, it's because Keyshia heard the rumors that he has 4 babies on the way by 4 separate women. Not 1, not 2, not 3 babies, but 4 babies. And with 4 different women. Damn. Okay, I know that on Keisha's birthday in October, Hunxho was more than generous to Keyshia and celebrated her by giving her a Maybach and a custom AP watch. Keyshia actually seemed to be happy at that moment.
Older ladies, this is what I need y'all to understand, because it's different. You know, I think back in the day, men kind of used to try to date older women so that they could get material things for them or use them for a place to stay or a place to trap up out of, whatever the case may be. But like a lot of older ladies have said, you know, and I've noticed that too. These younger men are more on their ish. They really are. I'm not saying like there are no men that are our age, you know, I'm younger than Keyshia Cole, that are on their stuff, but I don't know, like the men here, for example, I know this guy here in Colombia, he owns the smoke shop downstairs from me. He's owned that smoke shop since he was 16 years old. And he's like, what, now he's 26, he'll be 27 this year. A lot of these young dudes are on their hustle. So it's not even a matter of whether or not they have the money or the finances. And I think these days, a lot of the young dudes want to date older women because the mindset of the younger girls today is not the mindset that we used to have. A lot of these, even here in Colombia, these Colombian men will tell you, like, these women be lying. They be having all type of dudes. Y'all know how the passport bros used to just dog American women and say we was gold diggers and hoes. And it's like you come down here and the Colombian men and the women would say that about Colombian women. And not all Colombian women. I'm sure there are some sweethearts, but you have to be way more careful over here, right? So it's like a lot of the younger men these days kind of do want to go for an older woman because an older woman is more ready to like sit down somewhere, right? And with that, the younger man feels like he has to compensate somewhere. And a lot of the times they will try to do for you financially. But the problem comes with the immaturity, because just because a man has a certain amount of money, that doesn't mean that he is mature. And it also matters how he got that money. Like if he got that money in the streets, and if he got that money off of rapping or something like that, that man is still very much in survival mode. It's not the same as like if he came up, you know, doing everything the right way, and it was a slow and steady grind, and he learned delayed gratification. No, if he's been getting fast money for a very long time, and on top of that, been able to get any type of girl he wants for a very long time, then you're going to have a hard time getting that, you know, finding a dude that's, you know, even 25, 26, 27 that wants to sit down somewhere. And my whole thing with Keyshia Cole is you dating this young man who, to me, I'm sorry, as a 31-year-old woman, if you got face tats, I can't do it, baby. To me, that already says something not right. To me, if you went and put a tattoo on your face, I don't care who you are, I'm already knowing that you're not going to be able to be faithful to me. I'm sorry. You just not. And you ain't, there's nothing you can do to convince me otherwise. Free the tape, bros. Okay. Well, I thought Larry Hoover was free. Let's continue.
Moment as she recapped the night on social media and was all lovey-dovey about the entire situation. Before this, Hunxho seemingly opened up about dating Keyshia Cole and their age gap in his song Part of the Plan, where he rapped, "If she's older than my age, does that mean we can't date? I've never seen so many people judge." But something obviously went down between Keyshia and Hunxho after that, because the way homegirl has been acting up is not normal. Like, there were already rumors making rounds claiming that the two had broken up. But people grew more suspicious when Keyshia declared herself single as F in a since deleted post. Then 10 days later, she shared a mysterious message about heartbreak, which was accompanied by Trina's 2007 track Single Again, with particular lyrics popping up from it. I thought he was perfect. I don't know. Then
Keyshia, you too old to be acting like this, girl. At that age, you should just keep it P. I'm not saying you can't hurt. I'm not saying your heart can't be broke, But like all of this, I thought it was perfect, ma'am. No, you didn't. You knew when you see them face tattoos. But then let's say you decide you take a chance. You at 40 years old, you handle breakups privately. I'm sorry. You don't make announcements that you're single. You don't make announcements that the dude broke your heart. Like you just quietly move on, and maybe you answer a question that's asked once people like finally notice, hey, we haven't seen y'all together. Then that's when you're like, oh well, we broke up, and you keep it pushing. But all of this going on these emotional roller coasters at 40 is wild behavior. And again, a 25-year-old shouldn't have you acting like that, ma'am. Not a 25-year-old. Like, and my whole thing is you should have expected this behavior. Okay.
Then, in the subsequent and more cryptic upload, she shared a quote from Leo Tolstoy that says, "If you feel pain, you are alive. If you feel other people's pain, you are a human being." Well, the thing that sealed it for most people was Keyshia's performance a few days ago, where she nearly burst into tears. Now, word going around Atlanta is that 4 women are claiming to be pregnant by Hunxho. And get this, the women have allegedly formed a group chat, and messages from their chat where the women discussed their pregnancies were leaked onto social media. I've not seen the message.
Okay, see, and this is what I'm saying. Some people just ain't built for certain things. Y'all see Dre and Michelle. Now I've criticized her relationship with what is his name? Jalen Green, the boy who's the same age as her son. But y'all know last year at the same year that Drea had a baby, 2 other women had their babies. And y'all see Drea didn't say nothing. Y'all ain't see her getting her feelings about it. Y'all ain't see her cry about it because she has a different mentality. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Keyshia is the lover girl. Drea is more of a, I'm not saying that she's not a lover girl, but she been around. Drea probably coming at this like, yeah, I'm glad that them other girls had him. That way he not gonna be looking at me, expecting me to have no more kids. Like in Drea's mind, she probably feels like these young girls did her a favor. Cause she ain't gonna be able to do it. She done had her 3. So they just have 2 different mentalities, and I feel like Keyshia Cole just be taking these dudes too seriously. You feel me? Like Drake would be expecting the behavior.
Messages myself, but allegedly they actually exist. Child, it's one thing to get one woman pregnant, but 4 different women while you are in a relationship, can it really get more embarrassing than this? And right after Keyshia inked Hunxho's name on her chest, I mean, I totally get why people are saying that her recent performance crying her eyes out.
That's another thing. Why, ma'am, why at 40 are you getting any man's name tattooed on you, let alone this young boy who, again, we've all been in our 20s before. People in their 20s change their minds. What somebody wants in their 20s is not what they're going to want in their 30s and 40s. I'm not saying she couldn't have had a real relationship. I've seen age gap relationships like that where the people actually stayed together. But like you gotta try to see things from the younger person's perspective and where you were when you were their age, and not what you feel now as a supposed to be mature adult, and you thinking that you gonna stick the situation out. Like, so to me, that's just wild behavior. Well, I don't agree with people getting each other's names or anything like that tattooed on them. Maybe matching tattoos, depending on what it is. I could see that, but it's not something I would do personally. Drea is a whole female predator. Come on now. Keyshia Cole is stuck. I mean, yeah, no, she definitely wrong. Like, she definitely, like, ain't got, that boy is her son's age. That boy is her son's age. There's no reason why she should have been with him. And then she had a baby by him. If anything happens, like, and he's clearly reckless. He had other women pregnant at the same time. So, yeah, I mean, she definitely synced the stupidity and took advantage, for sure. She definitely took advantage of that situation. So, I'm not giving Drea no passes over here. But what I am saying is, like, do y'all see the difference in mentality? Like, Keyshia Cole is really being this just for purely for the love. You feel me? Like, she really thinks these young boys are going to be faithful. And it's not even that a young man can't be faithful. It's like these are the type of dudes that you're dating. Jamal going in today. What up, Sultry? LOL, don't tag me in it. Yeah, Jamal going in, baby. Yeah, no. I mean, but he's right. He's right.
Out was because of Hunxho. You know, if it's true that Hunxho actually got 4 different women pregnant, I personally feel really bad for Keyshia, especially considering everything she has been through because of this relationship. Baby, did you catch that performance by Keyshia Cole where she was performing her song? I remember.
And I want to feel bad, but I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad because again, Keyshia Cole is like 40, over 40 now. I don't feel bad for her because she's had enough life experience to know that a rapper with tattoos on his face is not going to be faithful to her. Like, y'all remember what she went through with Jeezy? Did she went through with Birdman? Remember she beat the girl up over Birdman? Like, it's not like she's not used to dealing with these hood ninjas. So this is the definition of doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. Like, I can't feel bad for her. And it's like her choices just keep getting worse.
No, I just want to know because people say it all the time. Remember who you are. Mm-hmm. And I thought me remembering who I am, just my personal opinion of myself and love. Mm-hmm. And when you truly love somebody, you don't just be like, oh yeah, because I'm Keyshia Cole, now I can go out and I can show him who I really could be with or who I really could be around, who really my friends, who really like.
She misinterpreting that. When people are telling Keyshia Cole to remember who she is, we're telling her, why are you dating these little boys? Why are you dating these rappers? Why haven't you went and pulled a Eve? Girl, you can go pull a Eve. Why haven't you went and pulled, did what Rihanna did, where she went and got her that billionaire? Why haven't you at least tried dating a different type of dude? Why haven't you went and got you a businessman? Or why haven't you went and got you like an executive or somebody who's not industry at all, who makes good money doing something else? Why you keep dating these rappers? So she's misinterpreting that. Nobody's telling Keyshia Cole to go out here and hoe to make Hunxho jealous. No, we actually telling you need to put your cootie cat on ice and quit showing out over people who we could clearly look and see they don't know how to act. There's no question about
it. No, it's cool. And whatever happens, God is happening because God said it's happening. Mm-hmm. So how do I can't just, I'm just not like that. So,
you know what's interesting about that? Now that I think about it, when if they say, remember who you are, well, maybe clearly we don't know you. Because if you're doing what you want to do.
In fact, and here's my thing. It's got to be something going on with Keyshia that's not right. Because y'all remember she dated Antonio Brown. I'm not going to hold y'all. The dudes that Keyshia Cole be dating, I'm a regular person. I don't have the money that these men have. I don't have the celebrity that these men have. And like Antonio Brown could never smash me. Never. Never. Not in this life or the next. He could never touch me. Hunxho could never touch me. So it's like I'm just a regular person. I'm nowhere on the level in terms of social status. Some might even say looks. Like I'm not Keyshia Cole, and I feel like I'm too good for the men that she dates. So like what? Something's going on. She has a self-esteem issue here. She's a beautiful woman. She had a good career. She can still book shows and do performances. Like she still performs really well. She looks good. I'm not even going to say she looks good for her age. She just looks good, period. She's killing a lot of these younger girls. But she continues to date these roaches. I'm not understanding.
Do like we think we know. That's the problem. That, like you say, other people's opinions are, just what they are. They're other people's opinions, but we don't know Like people don't know
So
you.
above all of this is what that is. It's like you're above all of this. You're greater than everything that's happening in your life right now.
That's
so
what
sit above that. Don't deal with nothing. And actually don't even bring nobody to the forefront no more.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna address what y'all are saying real quick. She seems lost in the sauce, but the woman can sing. Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that's saving her. We will never not love a Keyshia Cole record. I will never not sing to the top of my lungs when a Keyshia Cole record comes on. Period. Do y'all think Keyshia would know what to do with a decent man, even if he's not born? Probably not. That is a good point. She probably won't know what to do. Let me tell y'all something. Men who are like decent, I don't want to say they're boring, but they don't move as fast. Like good men don't, are not moving as fast. They take things slow. They try to get to know you. They want to know your personality. Like it takes time. Like honestly and truly, it takes a really long time to establish something significant with a man who is truly interested in you and not just trying to sleep with you and then move on, right? But like if you've been conditioned that you have to be in an auditioning position, and if you've been conditioned that you got to be sitting up here like always have to have your legs open, if you've been conditioned that things have to be, the dude has to be buying you jewelry and flowers, and I'm gonna talk about that too. Like if you've been conditioned that the dude have to be buying you watches and cars and all, like doing all this stuff for you really fast, then like a man that's actually decent, like a good person who knows they're a good person and wants to make sure that you're a good person too and that it's a good fit, it is gonna seem boring because it's gonna move at a snail pace. And no, she probably wouldn't know what to do with that at all. Keyshia talks too damn much. Nobody but hood ninjas is dealing with that. A rich white man ain't listening to that. I don't necessarily think it's that she talks too much, because when I listen to her like talk in interviews, she seems cool to be around. But I will agree with you, White Towns King, and it's good to see you. I'll see you in a minute. I think she talks too much of her business in terms of like whenever she gets into it with her man, we know. And it's like at 40, we shouldn't know that you and your man got into an argument because you're posting subliminals on social media and you're like posting statuses single AF. Like you gotta like no, like you can't go through those emotional roller coasters about your relationship on social media at that age. And yes, that would turn somebody who has a lot going for themselves off, whether they be a man, or that would turn me off if a man was behaving like that towards me. What up, GMS? Good to see you. Did she ever say what her type is? I mean, she ain't ever said what her type is, but we can see Young Jeezy, Birdman, Hunxho. She dated the one basketball player boy. What was his name? Booby. I honestly don't know too much about him, but like the track record is showing that she got a type for sure. She's not willing to step out the box and try something different. Go get you a nerd, a engineering executive, something, girl, and then learn how to act. So I will agree with the yes, girl. She dated, girl. You don't remember when she beat that girl up over Birdman? She acted a fool over Birdman, but it's something about Birdman because baby, even Toni Braxton is over there, and I can't believe that. It's as pretty as she is and classy as she is. OMG, Mariah, that's not the question, because men move fast too if they're into a woman as well. I think you know what? I'm gonna pull up another situation, Jamal. I think we're kind of like, I'll get into that. I'll get into that right after this, because I was gonna talk about another woman who got played. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get into it right now before I forget. I want y'all to watch this story. Hold on. I'm I'm jumping all over the place. Let's finish this video, and then I'm going to address what you're saying, Jamal.
Actually, we don't even want to see you with nobody, Keyshia, until it's.
That's how you feel like people feel?
I think so. Because I'm not taking it as a way that like people feel like they don't want to see me happy. Well, sometimes, but you know, they rather see it like if it's going to be real, then it's going to be forever. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think my fans are like, we didn't see you go through enough.
But that's the thing.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is.
We didn't see so much. We want you to be happy.
And it's like I'm going with the flow or whatever that feels like. I'm not doing too much calling. It's like everything is reciprocated right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you give me love, I give you love. If it's no love to be given,
this is what she don't understand. The dudes that she dates cannot give her love. I know a lot of y'all have y'all's criticisms of Princella, but like these dudes that she's dates are incapable of giving love. They can't love her. They are in survival mode. They're worried about money and hunching. That's it. That's all. Right? So it's like you're looking for something from somebody who cannot give it to you. And I'm not saying that there's not a man out there that can give it to her, but not these type of dudes she dating. And this is what she doesn't understand.
Love to be given, and that's just gonna be what
you mentioned. The tattoo, and you might not get rid of the tattoo.
I don't know yet. I just haven't did it.
What is the tattoo?
It's a Hunxho tattoo.
I was gonna say she be knowing.
I thought, sorry, she has Hunxho's name tattoo, but I was wondering if not getting rid of it is because like you're hoping to like rekindle.
Hey Olivia, good to see you, sis. Thank y'all for showing up so late. I know it's late at night. Thank y'all for coming through. Here's another thing I want to say too. When you publicly do certain things for men, like get their name tattooed on you and the whole world knows, that is a setup for when you try to get with the next man, right? Because now he's gonna want to be held to that same standard. Oh, I seen what you was willing to do for such and such. Oh, but you're not willing to do it for me. So it's never a good idea to show these type of public displays of grandeur. In my opinion, it's not a good thing to do. As a woman, I feel like it's certain things you need to do in private. You know, like you should never get a man's name tattooed on you. And then like gifts and things, whatever you're going to do for a man, do that privately. I would also say that goes for men too, because if a woman sees you doing too much for the last chick, she gonna be expecting that, and you might be in a place where you're like, I don't want to do all that because that chick was just with me for money. So the next relationship I get into, I want it to be genuine. But it's like it's already too late because then that woman sees what you did for the last chick, and she gonna be like, hold on, you was doing XYZ for such and such, and now you're not doing it for me. Learn to do certain things in private. What was wrong with her baby father, Daniel? I'm not sure. I didn't keep up with that relationship at all. I think he was like unfaithful or something, but people said he really cared about her. Public displays of love are beautiful. Just make sure it's reciprocated. Yes. Okay. So let me clarify. There's nothing wrong with showing your emotions and affections towards somebody publicly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying hide everybody that you're with or pretend that you're single and you don't have anybody. I'm saying certain things that you probably won't want to have to keep up in every single relationship. If this relationship don't go well, I don't think you should publicly put that out there. You know what I'm saying? For example, buying people lavish gifts and pieces of land and purses. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that should be done publicly. Getting people's names tattooed on you. No, don't do that. Because then everybody you date after that gonna be expecting a tattoo of their name. Just so you can show them that you really care about them. Because That's the standard that you set for when you really are into somebody. You get what I'm saying, Jamal?
I'm not dating.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's not like, oh, I'm dating some dude and I'm sitting across the table and I got him on my chest. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like I guess I got too much work to do right now. No, I just want to know because people say it all the time. Remember who you are.
And Keyshia, go get that tattoo ASAP, girl, as soon as possible. Run to the dermatologist to get that removed. I'm gonna show y'all something though. I think this is very interesting. Before I get into the Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti thing, I think this is very interesting. And I saw this girl who, in my opinion, she got played. Hopefully I can find the video. But she was playing games too. So it's kind of like she set herself up for that. I hope I saved it. Oh no. I didn't save it. What is that girl's name? Hold on. I'm gonna be pissed. And she be showing up all on my page. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the situation because I don't agree with this. So there are a lot of women on the internet, especially these femininity coaches and these dating coaches who tell y'all that if a man really wants you, he's going to be moving really fast. He's going to be buying flowers. He's going to be opening your doors. He's going to be buying gifts. He's going to be doing all of that. And in my opinion, a lot of that is not necessarily true. And this kind of goes back to the whole thing with Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons. Even though I don't know all the ins and outs of their relationships, but I've literally heard Yo Gotti say in his rap music how he be playing women. Like, all you got to do is buy her flowers every day for like a few weeks straight, you know, or a couple months straight. Like, y'all have to understand the things that these women say that you need to be looking for in a man on the internet, as far as like the princess treatment and being spoiled. The men who were like master manipulators and master game players, who are pros, like the ones that you don't really see coming, they listen to that, they study, they take notes, and then they execute. And that's one element that y'all are not understanding. I've known plenty of women who thought they got them a provider man, or a man that was really checking for them and chasing after them and doing stuff for them. And like, they be the most greasiest dudes, more greasy than a hood dude, honestly and truly, more slimy, because they watch, they observe, they study, and then they implement what they learned. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, most of the time when a dude really has something going for him, he will do things like pay for you on the date. I'm not saying go in your pockets on the dates. I'm not saying get tricked into overextending yourself. But I'm saying, like, if a dude is doing too much too soon, that, to me, that is a red flag, right? And a lot of the times it's love bombing. It's him trying to get you comfortable enough to where you don't see all the other stuff he has going on. Or so that when you find out about all the other stuff that he has going on, you're less likely to leave, because he's gotten you emotionally invested just off of the stuff that he's doing, right? It's better to deal with a dude who is, you know, kind of a little bit more reserved with what he's willing to do for you at first. It is. You think she be doing hard drugs? I have my own addiction issues. It's given that she might, especially with these young dudes that be walking around here popping pills. It saddens me when beautiful ladies don't find a man that matches their fly. I mean, it is sad, but here's the thing. It's sad, but then it's not. And I'm going to tell you why, Sultry. This is what I've noticed. A lot of people, this is men too. It's men. A lot of people settle, right? The thing about love and relationships that a lot of people don't want to admit is you're gonna have to go through a lot. You're gonna have to learn. And I think what happens is people just kind of get so desperate. They get tired of sleeping alone at night. And I've seen so many people, women and men, settle down with somebody they really don't want, but you're here and you help pay bills and you're giving me attention, or you're doing certain things for me. So it's kind of like a lot of people don't necessarily get somebody that they're equally yoked with because they gave up way too soon. They just gave up and was like, I'm gonna just get with you know, the first person that's chasing after me hard enough. It's sad, but it's true. A lot of people actually don't have confidence. Like, for example, I always respect men who can be for real with me about what's truly wrong. But like, I was talking to this, you know, like as friendly way, talking to this dude about, you know, how the situation here in Colombia has kind of been weird. And he like straight up explained to me, he was like, you are very intimidating. He was, and this is a man, he was like, you're very intimidating. And he was tall, he's tall, handsome, all that. Even him being tall and handsome, he was like, you're intimidating. He was like, here in Colombia, the men have a fantasies about women like you, like tall morenas with body. He was like, but most of the women here in Colombia are short and they are easier to approach. He was like, men here, we will talk about you and be like, dang, she beautiful, she fine, but it is very hard to approach somebody like you, right? So it's kind of like, and I said that to say that wasn't to big up myself. A lot of people don't have the confidence to go after what they really want. They honestly and truly don't, because they feel like they're not good enough. Or a lot of the times they feel like if I get with the person who I really want, they have so many options that they're not going to treat me right. So it's kind of like people kind of talk themselves out of going after what they want before they even try. Yeah, he does. She's as in Keyshia or in general. Okay, y'all gotta catch it. Men are terrified of beautiful women. Yeah, and I've had multiple. I've had multiple. The men who are like, I don't even want to say they're all the way confident, because like there's a degree to them that feels the intimidation, but I'll say they're good people. I've had several men just be like, you're very intimidating, and the ones who don't want to admit that, they try to tear my confidence down, right? They try to say, well, men don't approach you because, like, I had somebody tell me, I don't even want to say it because it's so ridiculous and don't apply. But like, you know, they'll try to tear my confidence down. And the ones who are actually like good people who don't want to try to tear my confidence down will just straight up say, no, it's us. We scary. Okay, I'm one of those dudes that have no confidence. I was so scared of talking to a woman on that tip. Yeah, it's a lot that are out here. So that goes back to your point, sultry. A lot of times women who can't find a man that matches their fly, the men that match their fly too scared to talk to them too. The men who you would look at, there are so many men who you would look at them and be like, any woman would want to date him, or he's got XYZ going for him. And you would be surprised at how scared they are of women. And you would look at them and not even think that. Or you would be surprised at how they think other women don't want them. Yeah, I was watching Pop the Balloon yesterday, and them dudes was eliminating himself, pop the balloons for the woman. Yeah, that's how that men are different than us. Okay, they try to go get what they feel like they can handle, and what they feel like with a woman that they feel like will always, you know, put them on a pedestal. But it really shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people should kind of operate like this. Shoot your shot at what you want. Should you be like, try to be reasonable? You know, if you shoot for the moon, you might land on the stars. You know, that's how I kind of feel about it. Now that brings me to the whole Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons situation. Now, let me go to my profile and my save videos. Now, y'all know Yo Gotti chased. I'm putting this in parentheses because I don't necessarily feel like making a rap song about somebody is them chasing a person. But that is the narrative that us ladies like to go with, that Yo Gotti chased Angela Simmons just because he wrote in a verse, I got a crush on Angela, and it was like, well, I mean, maybe he did have a crush on her. It was catchy. It rhymed with the song at that time because Angela Simmons was posting a lot of videos of her doing her workouts. She's been a hot girl in terms of, people like her for the fact that she's got that naturally voluptuous body. So I don't know. I don't necessarily see that as he chased her. I see that as he thought she was attractive, but Yo Gotti has rapped about other attractive women in his rap songs too. And he's rapped about sleeping with women. So I don't know. To me, I would not necessarily be flattered or feel like a rapper was chasing me or manifesting me just because he mentioned me in a rap song. But I don't know. Y'all tell me. What up, Wolf Tumblin? How are you? Why do y'all always see the bad in men and see it the most negative way? Everybody wasn't born as beautiful or as smart as you. I mean, Jamal, I don't always see the bad in men. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't always see the bad in men. But like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong? What is wrong with me dating on like my level? Like, what is wrong with me wanting to be with somebody that is equally as intelligent and like equally as good looking? And I'm not saying I'm the best looking person in the world. I'm not saying that at all. There are plenty of people that look better than me. What's wrong with me wanting to date somebody that looks like me and can have a intelligent conversation with me? Because they're out there. They're out there in abundance, actually. So I don't see what's the problem. What's wrong with that? That's not me like putting anybody else down, but I don't see like what's the issue. Meaning that everything we do is not for nefarious purposes. Every man is not trying to do something shicey. Well, that's true. I didn't say they weren't. What are you referring to? What are you referring to? Is that because of me talking about Yo Gotti in the song with Angela Simmons? I didn't say that he put her in that song to do something nefarious. I was saying he's a rapper and she was hot at the time. So he mentioned her. That don't necessarily mean he was chasing her. Does that make sense? I'm not even really about to go in on Yo Gotti because we don't know enough about. Honestly, their relationship was very private. We don't know enough. So I'm not of the same mindset of the women who were like, he chased her down for years just to treat her bad or humble her, because I feel like we don't know enough about the relationship. Were there cheating rumors during the relationship? Sure, there were cheating rumors, but he's a rapper. If it wasn't Angela Simmons that he was cheating on, he probably would have been cheating on somebody else. It had nothing to do with, to me, in my opinion, that didn't really have anything to do with him trying to humble her. That's just the lifestyle that he lives. And she should have known that. She always dating bad boys. I got a question, Mariah. The previous live, you said it's not ideal for pretty women to date regular looking dudes or something like that. Yeah, I did say that. And the reason why I said that is because most of the time they are going to try to humble you, or they are going to be jealous most of the time, or they're going to try to make you like tone yourself down in a lot of ways. I'm not saying there's not any, unattractive or average looking dudes who won't try to do those things to you, but like, that's like trying to find a unicorn. That's like trying to find a unicorn. And in my experience the men who don't feel like they look crazy going out with me, or that people are looking at them like, oh, he must got a big D, or he must got some money, that's why she with him. The dudes who is like, that couple looks like they go together, they're always nicer to me. They're always kind. They're always the sweetest to me. Look at the song Kalani that don't mean homie going after Kalani. Yeah, I didn't see it that way. I think women put way too much thought into him making that line. Now, he made that line. It's clear he thought she was attractive, and it could have been that they like, you know, they crossed paths. She's single, he's single, he shot his shot. But I don't see that as him chasing her down just to try to humble her. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? No, when you said even the good-looking man who won't approach a woman on his level is only because he wants to be worshipped, when sometimes he's just shy. Oh, no. Okay. I don't necessarily agree with that either. So maybe I need to like rephrase what I'm saying. You do have two different type of good-looking men. You got the ones who want to be worshipped and put on a pedestal. And then there are men who are good-looking, who genuinely are good men, and they're shy. And they think that you're not going to like them. But I thought I said that too. Did I not say that, y'all? Hey, P, how are you? Good to see you. So how do you know when a guy is on your level looks-wise? I don't know. I mean, y'all can't tell. Are you asking for you, or are you asking for me? I feel like you'll know when a guy, okay, like me personally, I can look at a dude and be like, we look good together. Like he's equally as attractive as me. Like I don't know. I can tell it's not necessarily one particular look. It can look like different skin shades. It can look like different flavors, but it's like on the same, like if we go out, people will be like, that is a good looking couple. Like I'm never gonna date a man who, if we go out, people be like, oh, she's clearly the better looking one in the room. I'm never gonna do that. It has to be, it gotta be equal. And then I feel like as a woman, because here's the thing, I feel like I strongly believe that the reason why I don't cheat is because I always date men who I'm attracted to. So if I go out with you and I don't feel like I'm doing you a favor by dating you, because that's another thing. A lot of men will try to tell women who are pretty to date men who are like less attractive than them, giving him a shot. And then it's like, yeah, but when she gets mad at you, she's going to remind you that she gave you a chance. So why would you even want to date that? She's going to remind you. And then like if you play her, she's gonna tell everybody, oh, I gave this ugly dude a chance and he played me. Like I dated one dude who I wouldn't say he was ugly, but I'll say like y'all wouldn't necessarily put us together, and he treated me terribly because of it. And then like since then I learned my lesson. So even after I broke up with somebody, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I feel so played because I gave him a chance and XYZ happened. And it was like, no, we were equally as attractive. I don't feel like I got played by a dude I should have never been with. Does that make sense? That might sound shallow, but it's true. I want my women to look as good as possible at all times, as you should. Hey sis, you looking so good tonight. Oh, why, thank you. Guys, I found this dress here at like this little boutique in Colombia over here in the shopping. So that's one thing I love about living in Colombia. If you want to find cute little dainty sundresses, because I feel like in the US, sundress culture is not what it used to be. But if you want to find a good sundress on the ground, there are so many shops. You know, here the culture and the style is very like feminine. Does that make sense? Like women still wear dresses and things here. Now they a different breed, but they will still put on a dress. And ain't nothing wrong if you don't want to wear dresses, lady. But I like dresses because I'm lazy. I like to just get out the shower, blow dry my hair, and throw a dress on. Okay, put a little lip gloss on, you know. So yeah, and I'm not trying to make anybody mad when I say the things that I say. I'm just not a person I'm not one of them people who is fake humble. I'm sorry. And again, I know where I rank. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I don't look as good as like a Megan Good or a Cassie Ventura or a Lauren London, right? But like even here in Colombia, I'm a bad bitch among bad bitches. Like even here in Colombia, I be stopping traffic. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? So no, you can like, I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna date anybody that is not as attractive. I'm sorry, I can't. She answered it. Thanks, Mariah. A lot of men don't date on their level anyway, so that question is valid. I will say most men do try to date below level. They do. Most men try to this is what I see a lot of men do. Most men that get into relationships, it's either one or two things. They'll go below their level so that they can go date what they really want and have the confidence to do it, or they go above but they're willing to pay for it. People have personal preferences. I mean, that's true. People do have personal preferences, but I don't know. Okay, so going back to the whole Yo Gotti thing, I don't believe he chased Angela Simmons down. I think that's a narrative that women are putting out there. He just made a song and mentioned her name in the song. And then they eventually, I think Angela said he slid in her DMs or something. And I think a couple years later, she gave him a chance when she got single. To me, showing interest and chasing somebody down are two completely different things. We got to stop saying that people are chasing us down when they are showing interest. Like, do y'all want people to show interest or not? Because people are going to stop showing interest if y'all making them seem like they thirsty every time they try to talk to you. Okay, so eventually, Yo Gotti got Angela, and she seemed like she was head over heels for him. Look at this. Now, I'm gonna say this. In my opinion, Angela Simmons and Yo Gotti, to me, they look okay together. Like, I don't look at him and be like, how did he get her? Am I tripping? Am I the only one who like thinks that was it was like a decent match? He's not a ugly dude. Would I date him? No, but he got a little swag to him. He fly, he handle his business. He's a hustler. So in my opinion, I didn't see that as Angela Simmons necessarily dating down, but I do think she needs to stop dating street dudes. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? So I'm not looking at him and saying he's not good enough for her. What I'm saying is she always dating street dudes, and it's not working out for you, girl. You was a church girl. Go get you a business executive, somebody that's out of the streets. And the reason why I'm saying that is because part of the reason why this breakup might have came is because we all know what's coming down the line for Yo Gotti and Dolph. We all know about that situation. So this could be a simple matter of her needing to distance herself for what's coming down the line, because it's coming. What if your mama was a 10 when you met her and she fell off a little? Would you think that man picked below his level when time itself changed her looks? What do you mean? Because, like, what are we talking about here? Because what do you mean by fell off? Because here's the thing with falling off, time don't necessarily change your looks. In my opinion, if you take care of yourself, that's a choice to take care of yourself. So if somebody is pretty they'll always be pretty if they're taking care of themselves. I don't think a man is wrong if like I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like you have an obligation and a duty to take care of yourself. Do you age as time goes on? Yes, but there are certain things that contribute to people falling off, like not watching what they eat, not working out, drinking too much liquor, smoking, not taking care of their teeth like they need to take care of their teeth. Like, you know, like you can age gracefully. So, I mean, I think that's a choice. A lot of that is a choice. Like I've seen so many women who were like extremely beautiful when they were young, but they smoked, they were chain smokers, and now I can see it. I think Gotti could actually do, he's the boss of North Memphis. It's not that he, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Gotti is below Angela Simmons. I'm saying he too in the streets. He too in the streets. Oh, y'all couldn't see the video. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Thank you for telling me, Estelle. Good to see you. Okay. Let me see. Now y'all should be able to see it. Okay, so this is when she bought him that Tesla.
Yeah, well, I got you one of those.
Oh my God. Love it.
And I remember people were like judging their relationship because she bought him that Tesla, but apparently he said he wanted the Tesla. So people have been trying to make it seem like he chased her, got her, she finally gave him a chance, and he was miserable with her. But honestly, ladies, I think that's a narrative that we're putting on them. I don't see it that way. And I don't necessarily feel like she shouldn't have dated him because he's not good enough for her or anything like that. It's just the fact that he too deep in the streets. That's what I'm saying. But to me, like when I look at this video, to me, they look like a good couple together. I don't feel like it's a mismatch. Am I tripping? His end with Jay-Z, long lived off though. Yeah, for sure. $10 years can do a number on a woman if she going through it with these ninjas. It sure can. It sure can. That's why, ladies, 10 years really can. I can always tell when a woman getting dragged. 10 years can definitely do a number on a woman. But if you're taking care of yourself, if you have time to pour into yourself, that 10 years is going to look a lot different than if you out here getting dragged. I can't put my finger on her personality or taste. That's what makes them look confusing to me. Are you talking about Angela and Yo Gotti? I feel like Angela is a little bit like she's a good girl, pastor's wife, a little bit corny. She definitely not as street smart as him, right? But and that's what I'm saying. Like, you see this being a situation where he probably didn't even tell her a lot of what he had going on. He probably just kept her out of a lot of his business, as he should have. But she don't know how to navigate that. What up, Becky? Good to see you, sis. What Keyshia dated Dolph? Would you be proud? Hold on. Keyshia dated Dolph. Would you be proud of her? Would you date Dolph? Don't lie. I would never date Dolph. I would never. That's what I'm trying to say. When I think about Keyshia Cole, the reason why I'm so disappointed in her is because, again, I'm a regular person, and like none of the celebrities that she's dated could ever pull me. Like not one. Not one. So I don't know. You're saying like don't lie. No, I would never date that kind of man. Nor have I ever dated that kind of man. Not at all. Have I dated a man? Okay, so I dated a dude that was still is a drug dealer, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same kind of thing. Cause like it was one of those situations where, well, I don't want to talk too much about it, but at first I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was on that, to be honest. But that's not necessarily something that I'm attracted to. And then once I went through that situation, I was like, okay, that's not for me. Like, I'm not attracted to that lifestyle. Do you feel me? I've worked around a lot of them. I've been around a lot of them. A lot of them come with particular personalities that I'm not necessarily attracted to or impressed by, or I don't even like being around it, to be honest. But no, I would not date Young Dolph. Okay. So recently, Angela and Yo Gotti broke up.
Yo Gotti and Angela Simmons are shaking. Reports are saying that their relationship after 3 years has ended. And people are saying, you know, it's because of Angela and looking at his face here and how quirky she was. I think there's this crime news. There's a lot to this story. Let's talk.
Jamal, do you know where I used to work? You lying. If Doc was alive and called you, you'd be overexcited. Jamal, I used to have drug dealers come into the club and have competitions throwing money on the stage just to see who I was going to go out with that night. And I would let them throw the money and I wouldn't go with none of them. Do you understand? I had some of the richest dudes, most on dudes in my city come try to get at me and was not excited. What are you talking about? That's regular. I've had celebrities invite me to certain events. I've had celebrities ask me out. And because most of it had to do with because I had a man, but even if I didn't have a man, I didn't care. So I'm a type of person, I like what I like. So I don't care what you have. That's kind of stuff is not about to gas me. Like, I like what I like and I get what I want. I don't care about none of that. I think all of our hood heroes can have any woman on earth. No, they really can't. They really can't. They get rejected too. They can have women who care about the money, women who care about who the streets in the hood impress them. But like, I'm the type of person who think about stuff like this. Would I like the person if they didn't have all that? And if I can't definitively say, yes, I'm not going to date you. Like, take away the jewelry, take away the cars, take away the stacks of money, take away all of that. Would I like you as a person? Would I still be attracted to you? Would I still want to sleep with you? If the answer is no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even when I'm talking about the dude that I dated who was a drug dealer, like, if he wasn't a drug dealer and he did something else that didn't make as much money, I would have still dated him for sure. Like, without question.
Talk about it. So Yo Gotti,
like, because he knew how to paint cars. And I remember telling him, why don't you just paint cars? He could paint cars really well. He knew how to wrap cars, work on cars. I'm like, why don't you just do that? If he would have did that, which I would have preferred him to do, I wouldn't have minded at all.
and Angela Simmons have been together since January 2023, but he had been begging her to be with him for the past 10 years. I want to know something with Angela Simmons. I'm talking about every single place he would go. He would be like, y'all know who I want. Y'all know who my dream girl is. So after she...
To me, that's not begging. And this is what y'all got to understand. A dude will make a song about you, put your name all in the song, tell people he think you fine, that you the baddest, and still be having all these other females that he thinks are equally as attractive or that he's messing with behind the scenes. So it ain't nothing for him to, publicly say, oh, I think such and such is fine. It's not, whether you talk to him or not, it doesn't matter. He got other chicks anyway. So that's what I'm saying. We got to stop gassing a situation up. isn't Angela like a square and he's not? It's odd. And that's what I'm saying. It is kind of odd. It's like you got the good church girl who's trying to break out of that church girl image, who is getting with a real life street dude.
He had a baby with a street dude that passed away. After the money was looking good over there at CMG, Angela was like, okay, you're a little shorter than me, but he cool, I'll try it. And he proceeded to sweep her off her feet. Now, we were excited for Angela Simmons because you got to look at the Simmons money. Russell's over there in Bali, okay? Rev Run, I'm sure they got a good pension type of life going on, but it ain't no Rev Run show. It ain't no pastries. Nobody buys Angela's cakes. And so the money is not looking the same over there. Yo Gotti was a perfect move. Glorilla, Moneybag Yo, Black Youngster. The list goes on of all the fame.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if she did go over there for the money, how are people mad talking about Yo Gotti played her or chased her down just to play her, when it's more than likely that she went over there for the money to begin with? So, in my opinion, who is running game on who? We got to keep it a stack here. If she only gave him a chance because he was on and he had some money and it didn't work out, did she get played? Really? Because it's not like he wasn't spending bread on her while they were together. Did she really get played?
Famous artists over there on CMG. So I said, good move. Your daddy's a rapper. It would make sense for you to be with a rapper, Angela Simmons. You got on your thinking cap. Well, people always made fun of Angela Simmons for being a little quirky, and they would see pictures of them and they would say his energy would be off. But I think this is bigger, you guys. I think that she had to leave him because the block is now hot for Yo Gotti, and they said allegedly that a RICO case is creeping around the corner.
Oh, it's coming.
So there's always been a lot of controversy about Yo Gotti and Young Dolph's unaliving. After Young Dolph got unalived, his brother, Big Juke, got unalived at leaving a funeral. So it's been back and forth bodies between these two. Black Youngster's done subliminals. It's really been messy. And there's a lot of situations tied to Memphis that Memphis has kept in between Memphis. But now they said that the feds are closing in, because one thing you know about the feds is they take their time. They have a 97% conviction rate because they'll build a case on you for years. Okay. So that's years of them getting this entire case together with Yo Gotti. And I think they came knock on Angela Simmons' door. The block got too hot. That's still a good girl. She had to go. Media Takeout speaking on it, they said the feds reportedly gearing up to hit her with a part of the RICO, because sometimes when your man does anything crime and they're trying to put together a case on you, if he spent money on you and any little bit of that money smells illegal, you can be like a co-conspirator or you can get indicted too. And she don't got no bones or no.
I mean, at this point, if this was a situation where they broke up to try to, prevent her from having to testify, if the feds want to subpoena her, they're going to subpoena her. At the end of the day, she's just a girlfriend. They would have been better off getting married. If he don't want her to talk about anything, or they don't want the feds to be able to have her testify against Yo Gotti, she's better off, just getting married and doing like all of them cartel wives do in Mexico and claiming that they had absolutely no knowledge of what was going on. She could do that. I mean, this is not going to prevent her from getting called in to testify, or it's not necessarily going to prevent her as being seen as a co-conspirator. I think they might just be trying to distance themselves from each other. And I don't even like Ho Gotti no more. He sold out Long Live Dolph. Yeah, I mean, that, I liked his rap music. I'm not even gonna hold you. I like Yo Gotti's music better than Dolph's music. Am I supposed to say that? I know we probably shouldn't say that because Dolph, and I like Dolph's music. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, as in terms of who I bump on a regular basis, I'm always bumping Yo Gotti over Young Dolph. But I will turn up to Dolph. Don't get me wrong. I will listen to it. I will turn up to it. I know the words to his songs, but in terms of like when I need to get my motivation to go hustle or make some money or get in grind mode, I'm definitely choosing Yo Gotti over Dolph. Period. She done got herself caught up. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When you are not a street female, you need to stay away from street dudes. I'm sorry. You do. And that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like he played her. I feel like, yeah, we heard the rumors of the cheating or whatnot, but I mean, he's a rapper. I don't feel like he got with her just to try to tear her down or play her. Honestly, we ain't never really seen Yo Gotti get with anybody and trick on them the way he was tricking on Angela or treat them right. Have y'all seen Yo Gotti publicly be with a woman and do the things that he did for her that he did for Angela? Because I never saw it. I've never seen it. So I think with some things, we have to learn how to take it on a case-by-case scenario. People taking this as a situation where a man chases you down and then he mistreats you. Like, I don't know. I feel like this is one of those situations where I can say, I feel like it is a little bit projecting. I think also people would take moments, kind of like what they did. Y'all remember how Nelly and Miss Jackson were together, and people would only take those pictures of him not smiling in the pictures and say, oh, see, he was so miserable with her, but he's much happier with the Shanti. And I'm like, yeah, but there are also pictures of him smiling with her. Y'all just cherry pick those pictures. Or we've seen him laugh and smile with her or say positive things about her. Y'all just kind of cherry pick it. And people will cherry pick pictures of Yo Gotti not smiling in pictures. And I'm like, he's supposed to be a gangster rapper. That's why he's not smiling in all of his pictures. And people are like, oh, he wasn't happy with Angela. He chased her down and then he wasn't happy with her. And I'm like, bruh, people just be spinning a narrative based on these propagandized pictures. We talked about that the other day. These pictures are propaganda. They are not real life. That was an act, Miss Mariah. What you mean? What was an act? What was an act? Girl, I done forgot what I said. You're gonna have to remind me. What I want to do right now, I still have a little bit of time for like the next 15 minutes. Only 15 minutes because I gotta get off of here, y'all. I gotta get up and work at 3:30 in the morning. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to come up and feel free to agree or disagree with anything I've said tonight. If you want to clarify, that man buy up the world for Miss Angela. Oh, he did. You feel like that was an act that he bought her all that stuff? It might have been. But what I'm saying is I ain't never seen him do it for nobody else. Yep, dog people ain't playing. They will hurt Angela. Yeah, I feel like that beef was way too public for I see you, Jamal. I'm about to add you on. I feel like that was a misstep by Dolph. That beef with Jamal, were you trying to come on? Come back up. Come back up. I feel like that beef was way too public for him to have actually went through one unaliving Dolph because everybody knew he did it. That beef was so bad. By the time it was done, everybody knew he did it. It's kind of like the Yellow Beezy and the Mo 3 situation in Dallas. By the time it happened, everybody knew Yellow Beezy and Trap Boy Freddy were involved because so many other things had transpired before then. Y'all taking shots at each other in the music. You're gonna get arrested for this eventually. You're not gonna be able to walk away with clean hands. Do y'all think the laws are stupid? If the streets talking, the laws are talking, period. They want to solve their cases. It was so obvious he was involved. Yeah, there's no way. I don't care if you pay somebody to do it, or I don't care how you try to hide that. Everybody knows who really did it, who really caught the hit. What up, Jamal? Good to see you.
Oh, hey, what's up? I was waiting for Binky.
Are you coming up, Binky? Are you coming on, Binky? You don't have to cam up if you want to get up here and give your opinion.
No, Binky has the camera. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, you said she
No.
got a camera. Oh, Binky say you look good. Baby, he want to see what you looking like tonight. Come on, Binky, come up here. You don't got to get on the camera. I know you probably laid up with your bonnet on, baby. I would be too.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just messing around.
But you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Is she coming up? Because I can't even see the chat.
I don't know. Are you coming up? You don't got to cam up. You could just get on your phone and talk. But you don't have to.
Because I feel like it wouldn't be fair if I just went out there without Binky there. Because I'm used to 2 versus 1. You know.
What? You feel like we be against you?
Well, this is your home court, so it's okay. And half the time, I don't know. Like, I like Binky's perspective. So, I feel like she creates, well, amongst the guests, she creates a great balance, Or if it be Binky and GMS. But just not to waste time. All I was going to say is that, number one, I did want to push back a little bit on some of your, what I was trying to say I wanted to push back on some of what you think are men's intentions. Number one, they're not always that nefarious, and wanting sex is not the worst thing in the world. And what I'm trying to get to is that I don't think that just because men want sex, or even the so-called good men or the shy guys, it doesn't necessarily mean they are bad men or that's a red flag. Everything, I don't want to say everything is not a red flag, because you never know. There's so much deception going on. But both men, even men are catfishing now. So, it's hard to say. And particularly the most untrustworthy men, I can't even say that. I don't know if it's the well-to-do guys or the guys who are lowlights in the hood, because all of them have their ain't shitness about them. I have my ain't shitness about me too, but I'm a pretty open book, and I've always kind of leaned somewhat towards the female perspective, but that's kind of something that's been the case since I was a kid. It's only recently because I have to defend the side that I'm actually on. So, but as far as like the intentions that men have, or that men are not capable of love, I think that's absolutely nonsense. I think Princella is the one that's not capable of receiving love. But I don't have to take a shot at her. She's hot when she wants to be, and she's very brilliant. But at the same time, I think that you know, she's leading a whole generation of very miserable, lonely women. And I'm not saying that a man is the flex, just like a woman is the flex. Like our energy is not bad. You know what I mean? We were made to we were made to be a comfort to each other. I don't think that men in and of themselves are naturally just bad for women, and I don't think that women are bad for men. In contrary to what the red pill thinks, but I think our society, Western society, has just corrupted everything, so that any and everything from love bombing to whatever else could be seen as something nefarious or a red flag. Because I just think that everything on our side of the tracks has just been completely corrupted. And I think we have to look at Western society before we start getting into, male pathology, as Cynthia G says, or female pathology, as Chronicles of Judah says. I think that Western society corrupts who both of us are, which I think are naturally very, I think men are, no homo, and I'm not trying to do that, but I think men are, but in general, male energy is good to have around women. And I think female energy is great to have around. Just our natural auras. We're made to be a benefit to each other. I just think Western society has just corrupted everything. So that's what I want to say on that.
Okay, Vicky, what do you think
I'll
about?
let Mickey respond.
Mhm.
I mean, dang. Hey y'all, how y'all
Hey,
doing?
what's
Can y'all
up?
hear me?
Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, my
No,
my
no,
bad. Welcome to the show, sis.
no, you good. I just wanted to make sure I was saying dang, because like, oh, this changed from when I was in the chat to when I got on. That's why I was like, oh dang, this is a change. But shout out to y'all. Damn, Jamal, you said a mouthful for sure. Um, I agree with him. I think that a lot of what's going on in Western society is turning us against each other for no good reason. I think there's a lot of weird protection that we're doing for ourselves. And maybe I shouldn't say weird protection, right? But our experiences teach us that we shouldn't just allow certain things to
Mhm.
happen. But I think that we're like hyper vigilant about things that maybe we shouldn't be. Like we don't accept each other's nature. And I think that that is where we're falling off, you know. And like I was always very interested. Like I remember you're the person, Mariah, that actually introduced me to Princella and kind of like her theories and everything about men not being able to love. And I thought that was such a fascinating thing because I never even considered it, never even heard of that before. But I do ultimately disagree with it. But it was a very interesting school of thought, I will say.
I'll say this. And this kind of goes back to like what I was saying earlier. I think listening to Princella is good to help you recognize. I'm not saying all men are incapable of love
Hmm.
1000%. I would say probably and I would say a lot of women cannot love either. Probably a higher percentage of men, but what Princella does, if you listen to her with the nuance that's required, is
Hmm.
that she teaches you how to recognize when somebody is incapable of love, because a lot of times people will try to convince you that things that are love are not love. It's based in lust, it's based in emotion, it's based in fear, it's based in codependency. So I feel like once you are able to recognize when a person is not even capable of it due to their life circumstances or them being in survival mode, you don't even get involved with those kind of people. Like
Mm.
you can just bypass all of that. You can skip all that questioning and wondering and blaming yourself and why didn't this. It's like that person was never going to be able to do that for you. And I also
Yeah.
think that women did need a wake up call, because what you would have is women putting up with certain situations that were just extremely unhealthy, and all the men had to do is say I love you. All the man
Mm.
got to do, the man
Yeah.
could be dealing with you and four other chicks, giving you
Hmm.
STDs, cussing you out, laying hands on you, but you will stay because he said, I love you. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, ma'am, what Miss Tina say? What has love got to do with it? So I
Yeah.
think that was a great message for women to step back and think, are these the actions of a person who loves me, cares
Right.
about my well-being, and is even capable? Because here's the thing, a lot of times we like to make it about us. Is this person even, do they even love themselves? I'm over here worried about me. So do I think that all men are incapable of love? No, I've seen men that are capable of love. And what I've said before on this channel many times is that it requires that man have a lot of discipline that the majority of men just are don't have and are unwilling to cultivate. Now, do I meet
Yeah.
men who are willing to cultivate that kind of discipline? Absolutely. They are in the minority.
Right.
That's what
And
I'm
you got to
saying.
talk about the majority. And like to me, as I kept listening to her, and I still like follow her channel and stuff and tune in every now and then, but the way I took her message ultimately was this is how men are. So choose to deal with them or not.
Mhm.
But this is how men are. So if you're going to choose to deal with them, This is what you're choosing to deal with. That's it. Don't cry about it. Don't be mad about it. Don't blame anybody for how they treat you or what happens. This is what it is. And I felt like that's true. You know what I'm saying? That's honest. I mean, people will, certain men, I will say, will um do you a certain way depending on how you carry yourself, right? And what you will put up with. They just will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if they're not doing you that way, they will do somebody else that way. Is that all? Yeah, but no, but it's kind of like we can't have this conversation with the
Hmm.
not all mentality. Like, will
Hmm.
all snakes bite you? No, but like if you let 1,000 snakes into your house, the majority of them will probably bite you. Like, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I think as long as the men are willing to be like a lot of men complain that women never take responsibility or accountability for anything. So
Mm-hmm.
I think
Hmm.
the first thing a man needs to do is to take responsibility, take accountability himself. So suppose you is the type of dude and you know you need to change. I know there's a lot of things about me I need to change. So you come out with that and say, I recognize that this is, where I've been at. Um, I'm ready to change that. And I definitely think that the person that somebody's with can turn them up. So if somebody is not has been sort of spiritually dormant or benign, I think the right person can raise that vibration up, man or woman. Yes, I agree that it's mainly women who or mainly men that have the issue with uh, knowing how to love, and the reason is simple, is because I think that the kind of the way men are being dealt with from the time they're young all the way up to I guess we can't take the rap songs out the equation. Uh,
Hmm.
because we're expected. I mean, after a while growing up, like we used to recite rap verses like scripture to deal with every situation. Then you realize, like, ooh, you're going to create a pretty cold world for yourself. And look at a lot of those rappers we go listen to and look at them now. Like, we don't envy them. It's like, damn, we listen to that. No wonder we fucked up. But on top of that, um, I think for millennials, we had to buck a lot of disgusting underlying misogyny that's a different type than what our great grandmothers had to put up with. I think it's rooted in insecurity. I'm not saying men in medieval times didn't have insecurity, but there's traditional misogyny and there's manufactured misogyny to cover up your own shortcomings. And I think that's the kind of misogyny that we have to deal with. um, Black men were at their peak in the 70s, and then in the 80s they all got divorced because they got big head and let it go. I've seen it. I've seen how these men carried on, uh, and they deserve to get divorced. I'm not happy about our family situation, but I do mainly blame that on my dad. Having said that, I think in later times, I think that males between the school system and everything else have been neutered so much that now. Um, I don't quite think the same circumstances exist. I don't even really respect the racism or misogyny from anybody below a certain age. I think it's just, you know, covering up for an insecurity. So I think that once us men have to fight through all this nonsense and fight through all of this soft boy misogyny and fight through all of these, stereotypes, um, I think that's when we'll be able to properly love because it's deeper than that. Properly not only
Yeah.
love a woman, but love our community. Not be so willing to want to smoke. If a dude is willing to just up his gun and just smoke the next dude because he stepped on his
Mm.
shoe, why wouldn't he up and smack the hell out you because you dissed him or you interrupted him while he was talking? You see what I'm saying? Like you have to have value for life, and people just don't love in general. And
Hmm.
I think that when you open up that Pandora's box, I think you start to see that, a lot of things are connected. So I try to be a person that loves in general. Because if I can love in general, then I don't think it's that much trouble to love a woman I'm into.
I have a
But
question for you, Jamal. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mariah.
hold on real quick. I'm gonna disagree with you, Jamal. Like, I don't necessarily like when we're having this conversation based on Western culture and Western values in our music, because the fact of the matter is, if you compare uh violent crimes cross-culturally across all cultures between males and females, it's not even close. Men are far more violent than women everywhere. Uh Men commit far more heinously violent crimes. Are there women who do commit heinous crimes that are violent? Yes, but it's not even close. And this is not just like a Western thing. I think we think that there's a divide amongst men and women here because we're more vocal about it. And then like it turns out that women getting rights actually makes men feel really uncomfortable and not even want to. A lot of men feel like because a woman got her rights, then that means I shouldn't even like try or aspire to be anything anymore. And it's like, no, the if you talk to people from other countries or you study other cultures and societies, they're dealing with a lot of the same problems that we deal with in the West. Or when people say the West, they're really talking about the United States. They're dealing with a lot of the same gender issues that we're dealing with. A lot of times the situation is far worse and far dire. You have women in China who don't want to have kids anymore, and women in Japan who don't want to have kids anymore. Like there are so many
Korea.
cultures where, yeah, Korea, like there are so many cultures where this exact same thing is going on. It's just like we live in American culture, so we think that these things are just limited to us. For example, here in Colombia, the same conversation that men are having that women are gold diggers and that our standards are too high and we're gold diggers and we only want to date bad boys. These men in Colombia say the same thing about Colombian women. They say the exact same thing. Only the difference is they're actually more accurate in what they're saying. The majority of the women here really will go with whoever had like you will find so many American women who will date you just because they like you. Here in Colombia, it is really about the dollar. Like it's really like that. These are real deal gold diggers over here. You feel me? And so it's kind of like all the same things I've heard American men say about Colombia. Y'all say American, not you necessarily, but men will say American women are not feminine. I've literally seen YouTube posts and memes about how uh them talking about how Colombian women cuss their men out and don't give them any peace when they come home and all kind of stuff. This is just like the same conversation is going on over here.
Well, like I said, I respect. I was trying to lose, so I don't really respect the misogyny on this side of the world. I'm in Toronto, in Canada, and Canada is much more feminist than America is, and pro LGBT. But still, like I was just saying that in other countries, number one, it seems like when I see people from other cultures, they seem to deal with their marriages, pretty well. The man and the woman, they seem to learn how to work out their problems pretty good. It's the others that don't know how to do that, or people from this culture that can't do it. And secondly, their misogyny might be more traditional, whereas the misogyny in America, the misogyny in America of today, I don't respect it because I feel like it's a new generation kind of, insecure misogyny that because we should know how to deal with women who have their rights. And you know what? Maybe that is what makes America a cool country or a cool country. Do have women that are willing to get rowdy and drink beer and do some wild stuff and willing to talk back. And you know what? You have to take the good with the bad. We have more freedom over here, so there's more freedom to act a fool. But like I said, I just don't think that. I think there's definitely there's that divide all over the world. And again, sometimes the feminism is pushed to break society, but I don't think there's anything wrong with women getting their rights. I just think there's something wrong with those things being manipulated to make the population fight against each other. That's my thing.
I don't necessarily I do think like on social media, it's like a lot of like, I think sometimes both sides kind of take things a little bit to the extreme, right? But like what I will say is ultimately what I think what most men would like to see happen is us return to a time that wasn't even like I mean this doesn't even really apply to black women because we've always had to work, honestly and truly. So this doesn't even apply to us, but people have this idealized version of like the 1950s where women were working in the house and the man, made more money because everybody knew he had to take care of the family, and like the woman stayed because she's financially dependent upon the man. And like, even going back to what you were saying, how in other cultures people find a way to work it out. They're not working it out. They're staying together because of the money. Like, it's really that simple. All you have to do is just not talk about the problems, pretend certain things are not going on, and ignore it, and just remind yourself that rent is due on the first of every month. Like, to stay in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship for that long. They're not working it out either. It's just they have to stay. Even like here in Colombia, like, yes, the divorce rate is lower, but also the poverty rate is higher. So, a woman is probably less likely to leave because she's like, bruh, I don't want to be out here like down bad.
On my own, yeah,
So a lot of
struggling.
this, yeah. So people like to talk shit about American women. I'm not saying you're talking shit, but it's like the fact of the matter is there's just a lot of things we don't have to put up with, and it has to do with money. And in cultures where they're staying together because of money, not necessarily because they're working their relationships out.
Well, their
And
cultural connection too. Don't let that's not. We have to respect their culture too. They want to continue their cultural tradition. Just because we got ours whipped out of us doesn't mean they want to lose theirs. We
when
can't
I
take that.
when when you actually go talk to these people though, like I'm a woman, I go talk. I can't tell you how many Colombian women have told me like, I wish we could be more like y'all American women. Like, I wish, like, they
Hmm.
be admiring. They admire when we be like, this, it's such a wild concept to them sometimes when I be like, oh, if a man like cheats on me or something, like, I'm not competing with the other woman. I'm leaving. And then they look like, what? You doing what? Like, no, she can
Yeah.
have, like, she can really have him.
She can
What?
have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What?
think because a lot of us, right, on this side, I could see why they would envy that because like you're saying, like culturally, that just and poverty wise, it's just not necessarily reality for them to be able to just say, I choose my happiness and I'm gonna just, figure it out. But for us, it's like we do want our peace. And I feel like when someone is disturbing my peace, I
I can't
got
do
to
it.
distance
Gotta
myself.
go.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Gotta
even
go.
emotionally, like even if I'm talking to you all the time still, like I can't feel the same around you and I almost don't even care to talk to you that much because why? You know what I'm saying? Like you're irritating me or you're being mean to me, you're disrespecting me, you're disregarding me. Like why do I need to just be tied to you? Like you're not the best that I can do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. But what were you going to say in response to what I said? What I said?
Oh, I totally forgot. I was gonna ask you a question. What were we talking about before? We were talking about Priscilla or something. What were we talking about before? I don't
About your
remember.
capability of loving, and you say something that you're
Oh
just
yeah. I was gonna ask you a question about like what do you think it is? Because you're a man, so I want to know like if a woman does love you and love on you and is respectful of you, um why is that not enough for you to be respectful of her or possibly, even just say, I don't want to be with you instead of just dragging it along? Like, have you been in those kind of situations or seen them?
well. I think when those situations, um, those are men either A, they don't fully are fully attracted to that woman. B, they, you know, like I said, they haven't been trained. A lot of men are not trained to deal with women. They're trained to have sex, spit game, and get what they want, but they're not necessarily trained to deal with the day to day rigors of dealing with a woman, right? And they don't have any friends that are necessarily talking about that. It's, oh man. Even when you try to talk to them about that, they go, oh man, they're lame ass shit, man. That's soft, man. So as a result, there's no real outlets to know how, and a lot of men just don't know how to deal with it. So when a woman loves on them, they don't want to. They like it, but they don't fully appreciate it. But they know what it's like to not have it, so they keep it in their back pocket. And if she's willing to stay, they get some free pussy, especially if they live at her place, because dudes don't have their own place no more. So they get free
Mm.
pee, food. Yeah, who's gonna give that up? And you can smash other females too, and all you have to do is survive some fights, and you can say, "Oh yeah." I mean, a lot of guys will take that, right? And so, but as far as like not disrespect, but let's say, okay, she doesn't want to just leave because you mentioned a woman. The disrespect and all that, again, that comes from bad influences. That comes from lack of appreciation, and that also comes from lack of love for themselves. Whatever, they're intimidated by love. There's a lot of men out there and women that are intimidated by love because
Mm.
when somebody shows that to you, you have to, now it's like, what, do I have to show it back? So I have to create this dynamic that, well, I'm better than you, or you're less than me. So therefore, I naturally deserve it, and therefore, I'm not on the hook to have to show it back or to have to learn from them. I mean, it's really simple as that. It's their attitude, lack of training, lack of maturity, a bunch of nonsense that I just.
Mm.
So yeah, Princella's right about
Yeah.
that. Those guys are just, that's what it is. But bad training, bad advice, no guidance, and
Mm.
no patience, no endurance, no emotional or relationship endurance. It's like, man, this is becoming a drag. Man, this
Well,
is becoming.
basically a waste of time and energy. Basically.
Basically, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I
Mm.
do appreciate Princella, because it's like, bro, she will stop you from wasting so much time. She will, like, you will literally get years of your life back with
Mm.
the knowledge that she brought. She's kind of fell off a little bit because honestly and truly, I think when she started dating women, and now it's kind of like, I'm not saying that her criticisms of women are not correct in most cases. I'm saying, like, you can tell a lot of this is personal. Now it done got personal since she done fell out with B. Taylor. It done got super personal. I don't like how she tried to make it seem like Cassie was a willing participant. And it's like, ma'am, you have sat up here and talked about how men prey on younger women because they're dumb and their brains are not fully developed. But now all of a sudden, Cassie, like, that doesn't apply when we're talking about Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
Like now you all of a sudden forgot why
Right.
he
It's
allowed her to be
contradictory.
with. It's
Yeah.
contradictory, and so I'm like, okay, you're allowing your irritation that you have towards the women that you're dating to make you contradict yourself now, and it doesn't negate all the information she's brought to the forefront. But it's like, if you're gonna deal with it at a scientific level, then deal with it at a scientific level. Then stay about your feelings.
Or maybe
Yeah.
she's saying it another way. I mean, B. Taylor does come off as a educated, arrogant airhead, and who needs to get humbled and seems to
Mm.
want that kind of, treatment, whatever. I just get that vibe from her. Like, I mean, yeah, I believe that Princella abused her, but honestly, I mean, you know, like I don't have a lot of sympathy.
I gave my opinion on that, and I said where I thought both sides were wrong in that situation. But I will say Priscilla don't seem like she's let it go, is what I'm trying to say. It's like now that situation permeates throughout all of her messages. Every time she's going on interview, she's bringing that situation up, and it's like, ma'am, like now, like your whole message is tailored around that, and it's tailored around female narcissism, which definitely is a thing. Let's be clear, right? But when it gets to a point where it's skewing you to where you are backtracking on your own message that you brought scientific proof behind, then that's when it's becoming a problem. You're too emotionally invested at this point.
Mm-hmm.
No, social a lot of dudes don't have their own place. And you know what? Maybe what I love about it is at the same time, she's showing female nature. I mean, she got number one, Prince Stella is she's more masculine than a whole bunch of dudes, just intellectually.
Oh, sure.
So,
She is.
and I'm attracted to that, to be honest with you, because she has masculine money that I don't have. And I'm willing to come out and say that. And, I admire that. I feel like if I can sit through a session of Princella, then that means that I can stand the heat. And maybe that might be a toxic trait on my own, because again, I have a own unique history. But the point that I'm making is that um, I was trying to see what Sultry was saying, but yeah, but my point is that I think she's also showing female nature as well. Absolute
Mhm.
power corrupts absolutely. So whether it's a man or a woman, if you have a lesbian relationship and a woman has the same leverage as the man in that situation, well, then they're going to do the same thing. So that's really like Michael Jackson said, human nature, and human nature is sinful, like Scripture says. So I think she's killing two birds with one, unaliving two birds with one stone, if you will.
Well, yeah, and just kind of
Yeah.
like, that is a problem. Like women, we do have to address the emotional volatility, or
Yes.
even this whole like, and that goes back to like it's so easy to play women because women thinks that most women think that the sun should rise and set on their ass. So like if
Yep.
you think like that, you're so easy to play. You're so easy to play. All I have to do is for a short or a long period of time do whatever you want me to do, and boom, that's it. I got you. Like I got you. I got your trust. All I have to do is play a role and cater to your every want and need and send you flower and jump when you say jump and just be. And a lot of times people can't keep that up or they can't maintain that. But then when a
Mhm.
man is honest and is like, I can't maintain, for example, like to me, you thinking a man is supposed to text you all day, every day is wild behavior. I can't
Mhm.
do that. Like I'm
Thank
not
you.
texting a
I've
man
been through
all
that.
day, every day. I can't do it.
No.
Like
Like, you got
I
too
can't.
much going on.
And
I got
I
too
play
much
that
going.
role. I'm definitely a master at that. I will definitely play into women with big egos. I don't know. It's like a rock paper scissors thing for me. So I might not. I don't want to start talking about it. So I have to get my own podcast to talk that kind of shit. But the point that I'm making is that I don't. I definitely am that dude. What you just said right there. All you have to do is just, yeah, I'm that dude. I do that, and because I can.
Like that's it. All you have to do is behave in a way that's completely unsustainable for a few weeks, a month, maybe a few months tops, and like you'll
Mhm.
get her where she wants. But it's unrealistic, and we don't evaluate the ways in which we the things we ask for are unrealistic. Now, if somebody's just not putting in any effort at all, that's like way different. But you got to think about things long term. Like, and we don't think long term. We expect men to behave in a way that is only like sustainable for a short period of time, and it's not even really healthy.
That's true. And by the
Yeah,
way,
I agree with
Sophie's
that.
not very good. Answering Sophie's
Social
questions not very good.
Social had a question for you. I got a question for Jamal. Where are men actually at right now in terms of stability, dating, and marriage in these current times?
Not a very good place. Not
Mm.
satisfactory. Not me. Not a whole, most of the men that I know. Even the ones that are in relationships. None of us, to my standards, are satisfactory. Not one of us. I shouldn't say that. No, there's some decent. The guy that my sister's marrying, they're church people. They're Christian people. So that's a separate situation. But
Mhm.
so I trust who my sister is marrying. But other than that, no, we're not. We're not up to par. Not even close.
Dang. Oh, God.
He
Well,
can't.
hey,
He
do you
he
want to get
said,
married?
Oh, absolutely. I want to get married again. But uh, like I married my daughter's mother up there. She wasn't the right one. I got pressured by her mother, but I ain't about to, you know, talk that shit now. Whatever.
You
Because
wouldn't
I
get
feel,
remarried.
yeah, I do want to get remarried, and she thinks I should get remarried and find other women. But I have to improve myself, and it's a long road. Uh, Me and my
Mhm.
daughter are going through things, not with each other, but like
Mhm.
individual. It's complicated. When I'm ready to move on it, then I'll talk about it. It's pretty deep, but
No,
the
I
point that
get
I'm
you.
yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So I don't have a lot of, and I'm seeing a really dark side of women too. So as a result, I believe what the Bible says. Human nature is messed up, and So
It is.
I don't place that on. I think our society in general is not good, and I think that it's not an accident.
Dang. What about you, Mariah? I want to know if you want to get married or you just want companionship.
The person would have to have the same views and attitudes on relationships as myself. So I'm not gonna say I would never get married. It's not something that I absolutely have to do, but like I couldn't I'd have to get with a man who needed as much. How do I explain it? So like I'm a person who can love really deeply and give my attention and put the, like put in effort into the relationship. But at the same time, when I want to go do my thing, I want to go do my thing. And I can't be with a person who has attitudes towards marriage like just because we got married, our life stops. Like just because we got married, now it's a problem because I want to go to the gym. Who are you trying to look good for? Or now it's a problem because I want to put makeup on. Or now it's a problem because I want to travel. Like, come with me then if it's such a big deal. Like I feel like a lot of times people get married to each other to get comfortable. So now like people think of marriage as like, okay, now I've got my person, so I don't have to put any effort into my life anymore, like my actual life, like me and then my life outside the home. And like I can't live like that. So anybody I get married to would have to have that same kind of like strong need for like know how to balance, be loving and caring, but have a strong need for self-development, growth, and independence. And that kind of person is very they exist. I've seen them. They're very difficult to find. I am dating somebody right now, like somebody who's also a Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, thus far, we seem to have the same kind of like attitudes and mentalities. Like, for example, like there will be times where like he texts me and I don't text back, and it's not on purpose. It's just I'm busy, and it's kind of like vice versa. But then like when we see each other, it's like always fun and a good conversation, and like he has his own life and I have my own life, and it's not like a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Is he giving that loving, caring kind of personality? Are you feeling that from him so far?
Oh yeah, but not like it's crazy because he reminds me a lot of me. So it's like I can tell, like we kind of went through a similar situation where like we were with somebody and like we gave our all, but that person decided that they wanted to go crazy one day and break up with us. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's like we kind of like we really went through the same thing. So it's kind of like it's moving at a slow, but like but like the actual I like it though because the actual like friendship, you know what I'm saying, part of it is developing. You know what I'm saying, to where it's like, oh, this person actually ask me questions about me, and it's not for nefarious reasons, like he's like genuinely interested, and then he's got interesting things going on. And I actually like this like a lot better. So I don't know, only time will tell, but what I will say is like this is the first time I've dated somebody in this particular manner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. I mean, I hope it works out, girl. I like that y'all are taking it slow because it sounds like you're both kind of gun shy, right, from your past experiences. But maybe in the end, that will bring y'all closer together because you won't rush into anything, and get in too deep, like you're stepping into it versus running into it. And that might be the better way to do it.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And one thing I really enjoy about Colombian culture is it is a little bit more traditional. So like the men they like really, I don't want to say all, but I'll say a lot of them, they really care about offending you. Like they really care about, you know what I'm saying? Like they really care about, they don't like, for example, he goes out of his way not to like say something like sexual, You know what I'm saying? Like overly
Mm-hmm.
sexual, or even just like I remember he complimented me on my eyes, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like. And I'm like, dang, if this is in America, they'd be like, oh, yo, you got a fat ass. You know, like they don't necessarily like
Yeah, that's me.
they're
I'm
very
not.
yeah,
I care
they're
about sex
very
only, but I don't care that much.
yeah, no, they care about how they talk to you. They care about how coming off as like disrespecting you, or you know what I'm saying, or offending you. So it's actually really different, so I like it. I feel like it's a situation where like it's a looks compatible thing. He's a little bit younger. He's like 5 years younger than me, but he has his own business that he's had for a while, a long time. So, yeah, it's just I'm taking it one day at a time.
That's what's up.
It's weird. It's weird for me sometimes, but I like the innocence of it right now.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I wish you
Yeah.
guys luck. You have to be somebody good to get you. So I wish you guys luck as well.
Mm-hmm.
But when
Thank
it
you.
comes to Geminis, I mean, I don't know. I'm a Capricorn. I have to. I can
Yeah.
take what y'all saying face value. You're not even pi.
No, well, no, he's a Gemini. This is a good thing. If you have a Gemini that has Earth placements in certain areas, it could be really good. So he's like a Gemini with a Capricorn moon, and then like a Venus in Taurus. And I have an Aquarius moon. Gemini and Aquarius moon is crazy. But the Venus controls the love aspect. So my Venus is in Taurus. And when you get a Gemini that has like a Earth placement in Venus, where the love is, those are the ones who are going to be loyal and not cheat on you, but also be super fun,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what's
true.
up.
We need both.
Yeah. And see, even though I'm not a Gemini, that's how I am. I need my space, but I can definitely partner up and
Yeah.
work well with my partner. You know what I mean? But I need my space. Like I do not want to be up under a man. I don't want to talk to you every day, all day. Like I can't. I just have too much going on. But I'm
Yeah.
there for you though, baby. Like if you need me,
Yeah.
I'm there.
And that's us. Like, if you give us our space, but love us when we're with you, we'll
Hmm.
like let us go when we want to go. We'll always come back, and when we're gone, we won't cheat. Like and like genuinely, like if we find
Yeah.
somebody just like, oh, this person's cool, they accept me, they let me do my thing. Like we
Yeah.
do not be wanting to mess it up at all. Like we ain't checking for
Right.
nobody. We having a good time. We could get sloppy face drunk and still not cheat. Be in
Yeah,
another
because
country,
it's
sloppy face
easy.
drunk, still not cheat. It's not a thing.
Yeah, it's really not hard. I mean, like my roommate's cousin. I mean, he's really fine, but like he's younger than me. He's probably around your age, Mariah. And I'm like, boy, go have a family. Please go have a family and see if that can work before you try to get with me because you're not getting no kids out of me, But he is really trying to like, nah, you my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want
Okay.
that. I'm like, but
A
I
lot of
don't
these younger
know.
dudes don't want kids. A lot of these Gen Z and
Yeah.
younger millennial men don't want kids at all,
Yeah.
and
That's
they
what he
for real.
said. That's what he said. He said he changed his mind about it,
Don't
and
want.
I keep telling him now. What'd you say, Jamal?
They don't want kids like them.
Oh,
That's what it is. The Gen Zers, they're
oh,
like, wow. They see how we are. Yeah, I don't want nobody like
Mm-hmm.
me. It's not gonna get better. My dad's a Gen X or a millennial. It's not gonna get better. That's what I think part of it is.
yeah. Even here in Colombia, y'all know y'all think this is like an American thing here in Colombia, and this is a more traditional Catholic nation. They just legalized abortion last year. And a
Wow.
Mm.
lot of these, if you go on like a dating site, and a lot of the men having the younger dudes having their profiles, I don't want kids. I don't want
Mm.
kids. It's just like it's so common to see here in Colombia. They don't want a lot of men don't
Wow.
want kids. Or you'll talk to them and they'll be like, "Oh, I just want one," or if I have one, that's cool. But if not, like I really prefer not to. That's the conversation over here.
I don't know.
I don't hear any of them be like, I want 5 kids. That's not what I hear.
Right. That's outdated.
Now, if I was super rich, then yeah, I probably would have a whole nother army or some if it went. But outside of me being rich, I could only see myself having one more with the woman. But who knows? I mean, I need to get there first. Where's Sultry at? Because he asked the other
On
question.
here, what's up, Sultry?
Hi, Sultry.
Hey,
Okay.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jamal, you still didn't finish the question.
Because they was talking, that's why.
So I
Sorry.
wanted to know, you were saying it was unsatisfactory, but you didn't say how.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you about right now. You want to start with no dudes have their own place? Do you want to start with, and I mean, a lot of that is, I can't blame that all on the guys. This economy's messed up like that. But yeah, from that to dudes like just totally being out of step with a lot of men being completely out of step, almost trained to be out of step with, how to be able to understand and keep with their woman's emotions, to being in their mid 30s. We ready for this? Being in their mid 30s, smashed 100 girls, and they still don't know where the clit is to suck on it. I mean,
Oh.
I'm
That's a real thing.
so I just, it's kind of one of those things. You throw your hands up, and a lot of the time, those guys are the ones who want to be the ones giving advice and talking about how to deal with the ladies. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You were like the alpha male, and I was with the same girl that you was with, and she said you didn't do this, that, and the third. Man, why you didn't? I almost want to sue you for asking my money back, man. Like, I feel hurt. Like, I learned the game from you, and the whole time you didn't even do this, and I'm thinking you guys are clowning me. So we have a whole lot of that going on. I mean, it's just a bunch of nonsense, and So between that, uh, not to say that there's a lot of men out there that don't care about stuff. There's a lot of men that do. There's a lot of men that do. But I think that, when I say so, I'm not satisfactory. I'm talking about emotionally, some of us sexually, and definitely, more importantly, a lot of men just can't talk to women. They can't hash out. They talk about the election, talk about everything is just man versus woman, or you have to agree with me, or you have to agree with her. It's not an exchange. And when you can't have that, for me, you can't have that. You can't have a relationship. I could be with somebody that's damn near racist, but if I can't have no exchange with them, this is, what are we doing here?
It's true.
I don't know if that answers your question or not, but I could keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think even kind of going back to what you were saying, how like you have situations where you have these men who are not even like giving advice to men who don't even know how to like please women. It's because the entire way in which they think about women has to do with what a woman can do for them and not what they can do. And I feel like, to me, in order for a relationship to really work, both people, like not just the woman, but like both people have to come into the relationship with the attitude of service. Like, both have to come into like, what can I do in service of this relationship? How can I like how can I make this person's day easier, or how can I make this person's day pleasant? It can't be a situation where you have one person who has that mentality and then somebody just sucking the life and the soul out of them, right? And I think in a lot of these situations, you have men who just literally just want to be worshipped and in their ego, who are giving this type of advice to men, and vice versa. I mean, even the women who were like the whole like, oh, he needs to be doing this. He needs to be texting you every day. He needs to be buying you flowers. He needs to be like taking you on like $200 a day. He needs to be doing this. And it's like, bruh, that shit is not like, that is not real life.
It's
And I can't
fantasy, yeah.
it's like fantasy. And I'm like, bro, I can't tell you how many women that I know. Like, y'all, I here's the thing, I be knowing stuff. I be knowing people in real life. And I have real life seen women be like, oh, just because a man is not doing it for you that, you know, my man is doing it for me. And then like I know these people in real life, and I'm like, bro, you going through so much with your man behind the scenes, or there was so much fronting and putting on that he was doing. I mean, even just kind of think to that that trad wife who was married with the older man who was talking. Y'all remember that story that went viral? It's a lot of these stories that started going viral, and it's like, bro, you are just perpetuating the fantasy. You're not telling what you're actually like dealing with. You don't talk about the fact that a lot of these times these men be doing stuff for these women on credit cards. Like, and it ain't nothing wrong with using credit cards, but it's like you're going into debt trying to fulfill a fantasy. So it's like you got two like extreme sides. But ultimately, even when you try to be genuine, you know, being genuine and trying to actually date somebody that you actually like and being a genuine person that has a mind to service, like that doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to meet a person that's on your same wavelength either. So
Very
my whole
true.
thing is you gotta choose, you gotta walk at all times in integrity with yourself, move smarter, learn to slow things down, learn to watch people, and not be so like outcome dependent on things. I'll say.
I think spiritual exploration is a great way to build chemistry and to grow, even with somebody that you're new to, right? Like that's never been a part of your circle or your crowd, and you start talking about spiritual stuff that your parents or nobody else ever talked about growing up, but now has become much more. There's much more knowledge, and it's more accepted, and it's more available. Um, I think that that's a good way to really build up chemistry, learn a person, and to see, you know, where their heart truly is. Because, like I said, I think there's a difference between the generations. I think there are cultural differences, and therefore, I think I'm a person that tries to pick apart. It doesn't matter how. Again, I'm not saying I got the best guy. I ain't pimping Ken, but I'm just saying I try to pick apart certain aspects of what, uh, like if a woman is being hard up with me, or she's, you know, puts up a tough demeanor, you know, in general, right? Um, yeah, I like to see what's underneath um, that hard layer, and I think the best way to do that is to um, not approach things on a spiritual level, but you know, once you get into sort of discourse with them, with each other, to try to go down that route, and that way you'll learn a lot quicker. At the very least, who the person might aspire to be. There's a person that all of us are, and there's a person that all of us ideally are, and I think that being in a relationship definitely helps with that, as long as both people are doing that, or intend to do that, or that's just the vibration. It just starts to just flow like that. And I think that's the feeling that a lot of people want, and they get frustrated when things
Because they don't
almost like,
get it.
yeah, that it doesn't just naturally form. Almost like when a newborn doesn't just latch on to the breast when, you know, a breastfeeding. You're like, what? Are you for real? I have to actually train you how to latch onto it. So, so that's I think that was frustrating. There's just not enough, to me. That's what I learned I got older, is that there's just not enough that naturally forms, unless there's some toxic form of love or whatever. Other than
Can I
that,
jump in? Okay. So I want to go back to the part where you said like men get like complacent or something on the lines of that. I think that they believe that like marriage is like, you know how they say it's a ball and chain. It's almost like they think of it as like it's the end of their lives. And so when they actually get married, that's when they actually become complacent. Like they feel like they've reached the finish line. So if they already have, you know, their careers and they're somewhat satisfied with their salaries, and then they get a woman, it's almost like they feel like they've reached the end. Maybe that's why
yeah, we
they,
got a sentence
you
already.
know,
We know
act
what
the
to do
way
with
that they do.
it.
What you say,
You're right.
Jamal?
I said, yeah, we got our sentence. We got our sentence. We know what we get in our time. We know we're gonna be doing life. So, hey man, they're about to do a life sentence. How would you behave if you
Damn.
got a life sentence? This is
But you didn't have to get the life sentence. I mean,
But you
you
chose, but
chose
you
to get
chose
married.
that.
No, but y'all ladies, let's be for real. Women will push men into that, or women will be like, well, if you don't want to marry me, then we're not, then it's over, or we're not going to be together. And like, this is one area where I really do understand how men feel, because I too am like, dang, if I get with the wrong person, they are trying, like, this is a ball and chain, and they are going to try to, like, I have that exact same fear that men do. I'm like, bro, they're going to want to make me be like, our whole life is going to be about the kids and domestic stuff, and we're gonna have our boring ass friends and mom friends, and it's like it sounds
Listen,
like I would literally go jump out the window, right?
yeah.
So
girl, I
it's
feel
kind
you,
of
but I feel you, Mariah, but I'm telling you, and people don't believe me when I say this because I've been engaged
like,
twice. But
mhm.
the last relationship I was in, I was adamant. I do not want to get married. I want to be with you, but
Hmm.
we do not need to get married on paper. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like, I don't know. It's so permanent. I don't know. It just felt like things would change once we got married. I
I
just
don't
didn't want to
want
do it.
this. I don't want a man to, like, now that we're married, now you change. So, and here's the thing: men used to have this fear of women because things do
Hmm.
start to change. It's like I have this, how men be like, I don't want to marry her, and then she stops like working out and caring about her looks. And it's like I too
Yeah.
have the same fear that if I marry you, you're gonna stop going to the gym and, like, and I know everything is not about like looks, but then it's like once they stop going to the gym, then they start doing things like passing gas in front of you. And it's like you weren't
Yeah.
doing that when we were just dating. And like that is not, my daughter knows not to do that in front of me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
certain things. I don't want you to get too comfortable with me just because you feel like we've reached the pinnacle of where we're supposed to be at. Like, never be comfortable around me, and it's not that I'm not willing to go through things with a man. It's not
Yeah.
that. It's not that I'm not willing to see you through hard times, but like, have a certain level of respect for yourself enough to try to
Mhm.
show up as your best. And then secondary to that, have a certain level of respect for me to try to show up in a really good way. For me, don't give me your worst just because I committed to you. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
don't like 1,000% understand that fear that men have. And I honestly think it doesn't really benefit us to get married to men anyway. We shouldn't be the one to be pressuring or them for that, or even looking for that. If a man wants to marry you,
Hmm.
he should come to you with that, and then
Hmm.
he should have to come with some really good arguments. Like, he have to
I
sell it
agree.
to you. And,
Yeah.
and
I don't fully
we,
agree with that.
Let's
The
get back
reason why
to
I don't fully agree with that is because just like how we was talking about earlier today, how Jamal was saying men have a hard time even approaching women. It's
Mhm.
like, what the fuck is we supposed to just be sitting on our ass all the damn time? Like, it's always this notion of like, wait. And that's why women have stopped waiting and, have gotten houses on their own or have created careers, because we can't just sit up here and wait. And then they make this whole rhetoric here on YouTube and be like, oh, men going their own way. We don't approach women no more. And then you have Jamal who's like, well, some of us are just shy. So it's like, what the fuck you supposed to do? Just kill over and die? Like, what the hell? It don't make
There are
sense to me.
There are other ways. I mean, you don't necessarily. I think you're gonna have to, like, now. First of all, if you wait on somebody to approach you, if you sitting around waiting, a lot of the women that had that mentality of I'm only gonna date the men that come talk to me. Well, now you're allowing somebody else to control your dating situation. I'm not saying that you have to be thirsty. I'm not saying that, but like, okay, for example, with my friend that I have now, I remember, first of all, do y'all know who Anwar is? Y'all know who
No.
Anwar, the dating coach who charged that girl like $10,000? Y'all know?
What?
Yes,
Yes, the
yes.
girl who got married and she paid him like $10,000. And I remember seeing a video, and I've always known that like other races of men like us, but it kind of like now that I'm down here and I'm like, I'm only around Colombians. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, this makes sense because all these men do here is stare at me, and they never approach, but they stare, they talk about me, they make comments, under their breath and things like that. And he was
Mm-hmm.
saying how a lot of the times the dudes will not talk to you because they think you don't want them. So, and they flirt differently. It's not like
Mm.
other cultures are not as like, they even when they do try to talk to you, it's not going to be the same as if you're dealing with a African American man in the United States. It's just different.
Mm.
It's a different situation, So
It is.
yes, so I had been the dude I'm talking to now. I had been, noticing him in passing, and I had seen him kind of look, and it honestly was a situation to where my daughter just like walked in his shop when we were on the way somewhere. And then she was like, I want to buy some gumballs. And then he spoke to me. And then it's like, okay, then we started talking. And then we just started
Mm-hmm.
speaking to each other every day. And then it just kind of turned into like, oh, okay, well, do you want to hang out? And you know what I'm saying? So you got to
Yeah.
my point is you got to find a happy medium with things. I'm not saying you have to be superly aggressive and be out here like always shooting your shot at the men. I'm saying kind of like look for ends and build things slowly. And then even he admitted like, oh wow, you're just like he even told, and he again, this man is tall and fine,
Mm-hmm.
tall and
Mm-hmm.
fine. And he was like, you are intimidating because you are very tall and voluptuous. And to me, I'm 5'7", but
Mm-hmm.
here I'm very tall. And he was like, you
Yeah.
very tall, you voluptuous, you're like a morena, like you're
Yeah.
like, so he probably would have never
Mm-hmm.
talked. He probably would have never said anything to me.
Girl, but let me tell you something about these Dominicans and Puerto Ricans in Florida. They not shy. Okay? They not shy.
Colombia,
And even being raggedy at the gas station, they not shy. You know what I'm saying? Like they
but
be in your
Colombia,
face.
okay, but it depends on the culture because Colombian men are different and these are paisas.
Yeah.
So I've told people before, like, so this mix of men over here in this region, they do have some black in them, but they are more of indigenous and European mix. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So they
mm-hmm.
now if you go closer to the coast, the men are a little bit more, they're like a little bit more like Dominicans with their approach.
More
Yeah.
brigade.
Because it gets blacker because that's where all the slaves were. It gets blacker if you go to Choco or on the coast, if you go to Cartagena. But Paisa men, their culture is a little bit different.
A
So
little laid
they're
back.
they, it's a little bit more. They kind of think like, oh, somebody that looks like me is not going to want to date them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, okay, but and
You're
Yeah.
literally
he said
describing what I
he found out.
experienced.
They found out you were a Gemini. Well, no, the dude I'm dating now is a Gemini too. Ha ha ha. I would have been dating me. I would have been dating Gemini. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I would have been
That's
dating
right,
Gemini.
girl. Toot
I would
your
have been
horn.
dating. Yeah, I would have been dating Gemini. Like this is cool. Morena can mean a couple of things. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a girl who is like my skin color or maybe a little bit darker, then it can be a morena. Like it's just they're really dark skinned, you would say negra. But you will also call somebody morena if they have really dark features. Like they could be lighter skinned than me, but have dark hair and dark eyes. And then you would call them that too. So you could say that, it just depends.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that's crazy too, because with Latin, there's so many different cultures within Latin culture. And so there's so much nuance too to the slang, you know, because literally with Puerto Ricans, they're like, no, you black, you know. So that's interesting to hear that, like with Colombians, it could be so many different things.
Yeah, it could be so many different things. And here they don't necessarily
Yeah.
say, like the city that I live in, it's not Colombian people don't really that much do the whole black white thing. They kind of go based
Yeah.
on your like, okay, like if you're dark skinned, they will call you negra or negro, but they don't necessarily think of it in the same way. So for example, with people that look like me, they don't really separate themselves the way that we do. So like just because they say that you're black, they still think that you're Colombian. You get what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
they don't necessarily separate us in terms of like, oh, this is white versus black people over here. They don't
Yeah.
do that. They even had a hard time understanding, like, so I try to explain to them. They know that I'm not from here because my accent is very much Mexican accent, you know. So like they have a hard time understanding when I tell them I'm not Latina here. And I will say my mom is black and my dad is white. And in their mind, when I say my mom is black, they might think of somebody that's like a woman that's your skin color,
Yeah.
but a man that is like a light skinned Paisa here. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
still thinking
They're
Latin
not thinking
people.
European.
They're not thinking that. So like when I
Yeah.
show them an actual picture of my dad, they're like, "Oh, he's blanco, blanco, blanco." Like he's there. Like I'm like, yes. They don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like when like
Yeah.
me trying to explain I'm mixed race, they're like, "Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're saying because my mom is negra and my they have parents that are different shades of colors." And then I'm like, "No, my father is white, baby." Like and finally, then like when I show them a picture of my dad, it clicks. They're like, "Oh, okay, that's
Right.
why you think
Right. Very interesting.
Yeah, but you look super Latina. You definitely do.
But you
A
know
lot
what's
of mixed people
crazy?
do. Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Here, there are black people here that look blacker than black people in the United States. Like there are so many. That's like Latino doesn't have a look because there are so many black people here that you'd be like, that's my cousin or my uncle. There are people, you know, there are people that have dreads and kinky hair and dark skin and they speak Spanish and there's so many of them. Like it's
Well,
like
we all got there the same way. So they got there the same way we got here. So
yes,
I mean,
exactly. And they're Spanish speaking. They don't speak, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like they've been here for centuries at this
Right. Or
point.
even in Brazil, they and they speak Portuguese. You know, it's like, but
yeah.
they're black, Afro texture hair, everything, like completely black.
If
You
y'all
know.
look at Colombia's uh vice president right now, Francia Marquez, she is a black woman. And I'm not talking about black like Kamala Harris allegedly. Like this is an unambiguous, unmistakable, don't look like she mixed with anything black woman. And this Colombia's vice president right now.
Yeah, I mean that's the norm, girl. Like that's how they are. Like I remember, I mean not just Colombians, but just Spanish people, you know, or Latinos in general. Like I remember even way back in like '98, right, when I was dating my Puerto Rican ex, and he was telling me about their history, and he's like, we have Taino, you know, we have Ibero, and then we have, of course, like African. We have all of that mixed in with us and he was showing me like his uncles and he was showing me his cousins and I'm like that's your like blood cousin. He's like, yes, that is my cousin, you know what I'm saying, and she looked just like me, you know, but to me at the time that was so new, you know what I'm saying, but he's like, nah, like we very prideful about our roots, like we know, you know what I'm saying, we have African roots too.
And let me tell you, they love black women here. They make so many songs in the music talking about Black women, if you go to Cali, Colombia, that is where they have like the best salsa dancers. And the men, even here in Medellin is more lighter skinned, more European look, a little bit more, still not like Argentina or something like that. They don't look like white people. That's not what I'm trying to say. But these men, baby, when they see a Black woman walking down the street, baby, they breaking a neck, traffic stopping. Like even somebody like me who was just like a little bit darker than the average, Paisa woman, they be like, baby, and don't let them see nothing chocolate and fine walk down the street, baby. They don't care if they sitting with their wife. Baby.
That's what's up. I mean, that's dope that, I like when men can see beauty in all of us, right? Because we all come in different shades, and everything. And I like when they can just see the beauty in all of us and not try to, pit us against each other, act like this is better than that. It's just beauty is beauty. You know what I mean? And attraction is attraction. Like, I like that. And it's dope that it's like that over there.
I know when I was in Mexico, I was in Jamaica, and then when I was in Dominican, the women definitely didn't care about their marriage neither. They didn't care about their husbands getting by. But for Black men, our job is supposed to. It's almost like we're conquerors, or it's like we're supposed to go where Black men are not welcome. It's like, okay, we already conquered that. A whole bunch of other Black men smashed all the chicks over here in this country. So let's go someplace. The more racist, the more we want that challenge. Because, we're supposed to take, we're not supposed to wonder or go where, okay, do they like brothers over there? Like, we're brothers. We're supposed to make everybody like us. Like, that's what we do. So that's the one advantage to being a Black man over any other type of man. That's the one.
But you know what's crazy? And I say this, I was saying this early. The stuff that people complain about with the American women, it's like a net positive here. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like you got to understand. So a lot of these men, even the Colombian men, they be worried like, is she just dating me for my money? Like, and like you were saying, how the Dominican women didn't care about their marriages. These women over here don't be caring about their marriages either. Not all of them, but like it's like way more than in the United States. Like they don't be giving a damn. Like these men, they be like, dang, so it's kind of like what makes an American woman a negative to an American man. Colombian men be like, oh, I don't have to worry about if she's trying to use me. Like she actually likes me. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like that is like
so
such
funny.
yes, that is such a weight off of their shoulders. You know what I'm saying? They be like, okay, well, I don't have to guess, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a breath of fresh air to them. And the good ones, they'll like that. Like they'll like that you like they admire. It's not just Colombian. Like I've talked to Colombian women, they admire the independence of American women. They really do. They really do.
Yeah. That's what's up. And the crazy thing is the independence that American women have came out of necessity. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to take care of ourselves. Nobody's gonna wait and take care of us, you know what I'm saying, or sit around and do things for us. We got to get it how we get it. Like kind of like what Sultry was saying, right? Like how long do I wait to buy a house? Like it might be a good market right now. Like do I just wait and miss out on that opportunity, or do I go ahead and just take the leap and do what I got to do? You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I don't need a man. Of course, I would love to have a man, but if the opportunity is there while I'm single, why not?
Well, I was thinking more like the way Barack Obama would say it. I think that it's a necessity because you need all hands on deck. You want a society where everybody who has aptitude can live up to their potential. So it's not just about, women have to take care of themselves here, and they're expected to, every adult is. But it's more to the point of that's just more skilled people you have. Why do you only want half your population, involved in building a society? You want the whole population doing it. Women understand things men don't. Men understand things women don't. So get both of them to develop a society. And that's why I would like to think that's the one of the good reasons why America's not what is what it is. Not just because of genocide and slavery and bombing everybody, but it's also because um, you have men and women who are displaying their abilities and their talents. So I think a society like that is better than a society, whether it's a gynocracy or it's patriarchy. You don't want only half the population. Now it's starting to go in the other direction where it's women involved in everything and men ain't doing nothing. Um, Even when it comes to community stuff, you see it's mostly women. A lot of men just disappear, you know, into the abyss. But I think an optimal society has men and women living up to that potential.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, ideally, that would be the best situation where you have both people living up to their potential. And I don't know if we'll ever, I don't know if we'll ever find that balance. But I will say what we can do is just try in our own individual lives. That's the best you can do because you can't change
Yeah.
society. And that's one thing I've noticed
Mm-mm.
about this conversation within like the whole gender war, the same conversation that's been had for like 20 years.
Mm.
I've kind of opted
Longer.
for a very long time. And I'm like, bruh,
Mhm.
there's just certain truths that we need to accept that
Yeah.
like that are general truths and stop trying to like force people to be who we want them to be. And then
Yeah.
you got to be able to generally accept that, but then also be open and willing enough to take people on a case by case scenario. But that
Mhm.
takes developing a lot of trust and discernment in yourself. And you gotta look at it like that, in my opinion.
I
And nothing
agree.
is guaranteed. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. You can find a
Nothing.
perfect person and then boom, something bad happened. That has absolutely nothing to do with you or them. So we gotta
Mhm.
understand life is a gift. We're not guaranteed a healthy relationship. We're not even guaranteed a relationship. You came in this world
Mhm.
alone, you gonna exit it alone. And
Yep.
so your job is to like make the best of it and try to do the most good and the least amount of
Mhm.
harm as possible. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you find a real love in your lifetime, like you're beyond blessed because most people will never even find that, and part of it is because they give up before they even get the opportunity and
That's
just
true.
decide to live in their lower
Yeah.
nature.
And I think it's important to experience people and enjoy people, but
Mm-hmm.
not try to control them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to try to control you. If I notice certain things, even about your character that I don't necessarily enjoy, I may say something to you about it, but I'm not going to try to make you do what I want you to do. You know, I'm not even going to try to manipulate you into it. I'm not going to try to talk you into wanting me or wanting to do something differently. Hey, that's how you are. The only thing I can control is my reaction to your behavior and how you treat me. That is it. You know what I mean? I'm going to enjoy you as long as I can. And I'm going to, allow you to enjoy me as long as I can. But that's it. You know, I'm not going to try to dictate your life and try to make you, and try to like search for things to be upset with you about because
That's
that's going to ruin
good.
the experience for both of us, you know?
Yeah, and it's really not it's not fair when you think about it. Like we have one life to live. Like who are we? Everybody gets one life to live. Who are we to tell somebody how they supposed to live their one life that they get?
Mm-hmm.
They once spend, so my whole thing
Mm-hmm.
is if you find somebody who is compatible with you and share the same values and y'all can share genuine love, that's great, you know what I'm saying? But when you see somebody is not on that, you got to respect who they are.
Yep.
You got to
Yep.
respect it. And to me the best thing you can do if you really can't handle move, I'm quick to just move around. I
Yeah.
feel like love is also letting go. Love
It
is
is.
also letting go and letting
You know
people
what,
go
Mariah,
go
what you
where they
just
are.
said, about respecting it, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, cause it's when someone shows you like they don't really mess with you like that or they don't really care for you like that. The best thing you could do is respect that and respect yourself. You know, it's respect for both of you to just understand what that is and not try to force anything because all that
Yes.
does is breed resentment. You know what I mean?
It
It
does.
does.
Versus you just let them go. You never know what could happen. Down the line, they might be ready and come back on something different. You don't got to subject yourself to foolishness just because you're hoping
Mm,
somebody will change. Let them go. Life will
yeah.
change him if it's meant to change him. And maybe life won't, or maybe life will, but you weren't the person they supposed to be with. So they end up with somebody else. So, but people got to learn to let go. I think we hold on to the idea that in order to love people, we got to be sleeping with them and we got to have them in our life. And it's
Hmm.
like, bro, they do not got to be in your life.
No, they
There's
don't. Yeah.
they do not. You can love somebody and wish the best for them
Hmm.
and never talk to them again in this life or the next.
And not feel any negativity towards them. Just, hey, we weren't for each other. It didn't work out. But, you're living your life and stay over there living your life. I'm over here living mine.
And we ain't bothering each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw on this other channel I'd be watching like a statement that was made that was like I was like I like that where he was like if you don't respect my presence, you damn sure gonna respect my absence. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that because at the end of the day, sometimes you do have to walk away from people, and it's painful and it's hard to walk away from people sometimes. But honestly, sometimes that's the best thing you can do because when you're around, people don't appreciate you. You don't know what you got till it's gone. That song is very good for a reason. You
Girl,
know
let me
what
Yeah.
I
tell you.
mean?
This how I get over folks. I'm being for real. I'm being so for real when I say this. Once I get some new money, once I come into some new money, all that hurt is gone.
Mm,
For real, like let me tell you, once I start getting busy and I tap into some new money,
yeah.
I don't care what you call it doing no more. I really don't. Like once I get busy and get some money, I do not give a damn. I do
That's
not
good.
care.
That's good. That's good.
So that's
Money.
good. I mean, focus is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is for me. I think it's just the thing that makes me get over a person is just really their behavior. It's them usually. You know what I'm saying? It's like their behavior. How you treat me, if it's not compatible or reciprocal to how I treat you, it doesn't make sense how you treat me based on how I treat you. That's how I kind of like, okay, I'm good on this. It's not a negative thing. I'm
It's
done
a
with it. You
disrespect.
know? Yeah. Like I'm done with it. I'm good on that. Good luck.
I don't know what it is about me coming into some money because I even had an ex-boyfriend and the relationship was toxic. But he
Man.
was like, you always want to bother me or argue with me when you or what I do is a problem when you broke. He was like, but every time you get some money, I don't hear from you for days. And I had to say, you know what? It's not that I care about these men that much. I be depressed because my money messed up. And then I just taking it out on somebody. Like he spoke a lot of truth. He spoke a lot of
he,
truth.
he
And then
made you have a revelation.
yes, and then I started monitoring myself, girl. I was like, most of the time, even in other relationships that I've had any little dispute with a man, the initial problem was that my funds were low. And
Mm.
this was just a distraction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
This was something
Yes.
so like when my money be right, I don't argue with nobody. So then I started realizing that about myself. So then I can be like, before I say something, am I upset at this or is it that my funds are low? You know what I'm saying? So like
Mhm.
now I know because
I
girl,
like that. That's
girl,
scientific, girl.
it is, girl. I'm telling you, whether or not, yes, most of the time, if I even give a damn to say something, it got something to do with money. Once I get some money, I don't care about nothing. I don't care. I don't care no more.
Mm.
It's not that I don't care about the person. I just
Yeah,
don't
but
care.
the
I don't.
situation.
Yes, the situation.
Shit, that's how it should be, though. Honestly, I mean, because it stops you from doing too much for no reason. Because once you found what the causation was, which was the money, now you don't waste your energy trying to fix something that didn't need to be fixed. It was money. Like so, I know it was the money.
It was the money. That person could have even been wrong in what they did, but if I
Yeah.
had money, I don't even care. Long as it wasn't nothing to the only things that I genuinely and truly care about, I got my deal breakers, like cussing
Mm-hmm.
me out, uh cheating, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And laying hands on me. But like if you're not doing any of those, I really don't care what you're doing. It's the issue is the money. You know what I'm saying? The issue is always the money.
Must
Yeah,
be the
I like
money.
that. I like
I do
that.
too.
Yeah, that's
I
the
do too.
Capricorn side of me is cool with that.
Mhm. Mhm.
The Capricorn sign. I can't.
I can even deal with the breakup as long as I
Mhm.
have if my bank account is full during the time of the breakup, I do not give a
Yeah.
damn that we broke up.
How you say?
I
Like
Nah,
you
but
really be all the way at peace.
if I would break up with a woman, I'll say, "Here you go for your service. Here's this next person." I would
yes,
do that.
you got to think about it like this. If you got a
Mm,
full bank account when a man break up with you,
mm,
this all you gonna go take you a vacation, go
yeah.
shopping, get your hair done, nails did, maybe call your friend and say, "Girl, you guess what this happened?" But it's like you got too much money to spend to be fly to be sitting up in the house crying, looking ugly.
That's true too.
You got like you can go like going on vacation
Oh my
heals all
god.
breakups. Like, why would I care about you breaking up with me when I'm
Yeah.
literally floating in the middle of the ocean and it's
Girl,
beautiful and it's gorgeous? Like,
that's
why
so
the fuck I'm
true.
too blessed to
Like,
care that we don't go
girl,
together no more.
I went to Puerto Rico literally like after my last breakup, like my major breakup or whatever. And it was so fun. I mean, it was a girls trip, but it was so much fun. We was hanging out, meeting guys, like doing whatever. And I actually ended up, dating somebody pretty soon after that. But it was just like, I'm over here. And you know what's crazy? That was during that time, that whole, that red light challenge was going on. What was that challenge that Doja Cat had going on? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Where they
I
was doing the
don't know.
silhouette challenge
Oh
with the
yes.
red light. It was during that time, and I had a video of that right up. My ex called me while I was in Puerto Rico going off. He was just like, I can't believe, like, my blood is boiling. And I'm like, I'm in Puerto Rico. Like, I am
Guys,
literally on the beach. I don't know why your blood is boiling.
all these
We haven't been
fine
together.
Puerto Rican men.
Well, men
All these
can't
fine
afford
Puerto Rican
vacations.
men.
Only women going on vacation.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. If a man breaks up with you and you got a bank account full of money to go do whatever you want to go do, like
Yeah.
you got to know that even if the man broke up with you and he's like partying and sleeping with whoever he didn't get to sleep with while y'all were together, right? Because that's normally
Hmm.
what they're gonna go do. Like,
Hmm.
they're still not gonna have as good as a time that you're gonna like genuinely go have, because we're just more
Oh, I don't know about
creative.
that.
We're just no, what I mean is like we're just more like free spirit, creative, kind of like go with like I don't know how to explain
We,
it. Women just kind of
yeah.
flow more, like when
And we
so
grieve the relationship, girl, right? Like before we actually leave it, we already kind of grieve it and kind of start getting over it before it's
yeah,
officially done. And I don't think men do that.
you're like crying like
Oh,
I
yes, they
remember
do.
I remember one time I had a breakup and like I went on a vacation and like I was in the ocean, right? At this time. Like I started off close to shore and I just kind of like floated on my back and just like cried about it. And I'm in the
Mm,
ocean, like I'm in the ocean crying, floating on my back. And like y'all, by the time I look back, I look up, right? Because I'm there for so long.
yeah.
Y'all, I'm like so far back.
Where
It
was
took
the
me
land?
I don't even know where it was. And then like so I remember it took me so long just to swim back to shore. It was a long swim, but I'm a pretty strong swimmer. And
Mm.
like when I got back to the shore, the people on their island was like, "What the hell? We ain't never seen no shit."
Girl, you've been one with nature.
I cleansed, right? And then, but since then, I've been afraid to do that because then I watched this
Yeah.
video of this shark attack of that
Oh.
Egyptian dude, and I was like, bruh, I literally could have got eaten by sharks, and I just did not give a damn because I was so in my emotions at the time. But like a vacation is a great way to deal with the breakup. Even Sierra went on a vacation after her and Future before she met Russell Wilson. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like as long as I have the money to go do what I need to do, I can get
Yeah.
through a breakup easily. Okay.
Financial freedom is a thing. Like it is a thing. And we don't have the burden of your relationship, because I feel like I also had to spend a lot of money too. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we had things going on in the relationship. We had some joint bills and things together. And it was like, none of that's going on now. Like, all my money is mine now. I can do what I want.
Facts.
I
And
know.
you don't, for me, it'd be more of like, I don't have to. Now, my last, well, that was like, so the last relationship where like we were in the same city and like we lived together
Mm-hmm.
was like relationship, like we're like, doing like relationship things. He was with a Sag, so it was cool. But I don't know. For me, a lot of times, my whole thing with relationships be like, bro, I can't even fully really be myself in this relationship because I gotta worry about offending you all the time, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like I
Yeah.
can't,
Yeah.
you know.
That's horrible. You know something too? Like my Instagram, like if you even look at it, if you could probably swipe like 5 times and be in, 2013, because I used to not post a lot on there when I wasn't single, because it bothered him when I would post on there. He's like, who are you trying to get attention from? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to be seen? And it's like, damn, I can't even post a picture. Most of the time I post neck up so my breasts aren't in it. You know what I'm saying? So
But you know what? The last two relationships, I have to keep it 100. I was the woman in the relationship. Now, as you could, I'm not the prettiest dude, and the reason why I have to say this is because uh, if I happen to, my self esteem is such that if there's a good looking woman who has more money than me, which the last few did, and they like me, then I feel like, well, I have to put up with whatever they're gonna do. So they're in this nice, clean place, and I get to use their bank card and get yelled at all the time and get stuff thrown at me and get called every name in both Spanish and English. But yeah, and so long story short, oh yeah, and that pee was water. But the point that
Oh.
I'm making is that um, by the time I got out of the relationship and I was using my own little bit of money, then that felt nice. Like I actually now knew what women felt like to get divorced, be in a less affluent situation, would feel a lot more freedom and be
Oh,
happy
come
and
on.
appreciative to be in their own space and to be talking to friends and be able to post a picture
And not have to tiptoe around somebody's emotions or ego. Like, damn, like
or views.
or views. Like, I don't, and I guess because I'm so like, you would think, because I've had people say this because I'm so opinionated. People think that I be getting in relationships with people and arguing with them about what they think, but I be having, I'll have conversations. Like, we're having a conversation right now. We're not arguing. You feel me? And it's just to the point where like it's some people that will literally get mad at you and not talk to you for days because of the way that you thought, or because you didn't vote the way that you wanted them to vote, or it'll be just anything. So I don't know. I'm just grateful that I've been able to like get away from those type of controlling situations. But at this point, I'm really just rambling. I see that you dropped off, Binky girl. I actually have to get off because I have to get up at
and I have
3.
to check on my money too. So
Okay, I know that's right. Okay, but it's been real, y'all. I always say I'm only gonna go for like an hour, but then I lie.
thank you, Ryan. I said,
It's okay. We're
what's
gonna
up,
end
Lee?
it anyway, Binky. But thank y'all for everybody who came through. Y'all hit the like button. And I will see y'all not Friday or Saturday. I'll come back on Sunday. Y'all have a good night.